What is good, folks? Welcome back to the Games Done Quick channel and to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. These are shows that we do in between our mainline events. The rest of what the speedrun community have to offer, maybe showing off some things that you might not see at mainline events. I always believe that pretty much anything could get into a mainline event, but you know, sometimes it doesn't always happen. We are going to be going places today. That is the show that we are going to be doing. I'll explain a little bit about that, but just before that, speaking of mainline events, the registration is live for Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. Guess who's registered? I am. First time in America. That's going to be awesome. So if you would also like to attend the event in person from January the 14th to the 21st, you can go to gamesdonequick.com for more info, including attendee registration and hotel booking. Be sure to check out the schedule as well at gamesdonequick.com/schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to the most. There was a very good social media post from our team with people guessing what games from, blurred box arts, which I'm a big fan of. That landed well. I enjoyed that. But before, we find ourselves in Pittsburgh, we are still doing Hotfix. Hotfix is something that happens all the time, pretty much, on this channel. And the thing that we get to do in going places is go places. We get to have a look at games that we can take as we're on the go on handheld consoles, as well as games that we would go to distant lands to find, or maybe something that's a little closer to home. Region exclusive games. To cut a long story short, we are having a whole host of slightly stranger Pokemon games to be shown off. As you can see by our lovely runner schedule, we've got Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon Pinball, and Pokemon Pinball, but that is going to be a best of 3. We're going to have a set of races between Amoeba and Andy, which are thoroughly looking forward to. After those 3 quick runs, we're going to be changing the pace a little bit. We're going to be having a slightly longer run with Toro Night showing us Pokemon trading card game for the GBA. It's going to be 80% glitchless, taking us around about an hour or so, which will be good fun, nice and comfy. And then finishing up with Pokémon Snap with the 100% category with Quo. Is probably the best way of saying that. And then, depending on how much time we have at the end, we will also be having a look at some score strategies, which will be a showcase, just seeing, how to get the best score, I suppose. And then, of course, afterwards, we will have other Hotfix shows, but we are going to have to throw it to the start of the show, the start of the evening, start of the afternoon, wherever it is for you folks. And we are going to be joining our gamers for some Pokemon Pinball. How are we doing today, folks? Let's go.
So yeah, my name's awesome. Amoeba, and
I'm your friend Andy.
My friend Andy. Nobody else's, just mine.
Yes.
Very important note. And yeah, if we're ready to start,
I'm ready.
We are indeed. Whoever wants to take it away with the countdown is more than welcome to. Whoever gets that honor. So
just a quick explanation. We are going to be doing a best of 3 here. We're going to be doing the main categories, which are to beat Rayquaza on Sapphire Field, then Ruby Field, and then a tiebreak decider that we'll keep quiet for now. It's not that exciting, but it's a little bit weird.
It's a secret. Okay.
Yeah. Are you good, Andy?
I am ready to lose.
Good luck. Right.
Optimism right there.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, we're starting like good luck, dude. We're going to start on Sapphire Field. It's generally run opinion that this is the best one, which I fully agree with. We're going to make liberal use of these slots, especially in this first batch round, because Zigzagoon exists and will give us whatever reward we want. You might have noticed that the first thing I picked up there was a 30-second saver, which is completely useless. Because of the way this route's going to work out, I'm actually just going to burn 4 slots here. I just want to get to the slots that have a go-to bonus as quickly as possible.
Okay, I've gone to catch-em mode.
Hey, do you remember like a month ago when we did this and I went to catch-em mode? Now it's for you.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so ideally you want to avoid that. I'm going to basically burn through. Andy's going to have to do a slightly different route now to account for the fact he's hit catch early. It's not the end of the world.
Nah, it's fine.
But yeah, so we get in the slots, you get a go-to bonus every 5th slot that you take. So I'm burning 4 and deliberately going to the 5th one so that we can jump straight to a bonus. And for anybody not super familiar with this game, beating Rayquaza requires you to beat 5 bonuses, basically. The first bonus is... Oh, I've missed Zigzagoon. Please give me this, otherwise I am...
What's
Okay.
happened?
No.
I didn't get the Ziggy shot. The only one I missed was on the bonus and I didn't get lucky. So I'm going to have to burn 5 again. Not the end of the world either. Just to keep Andy in the race.
Thank you.
It's alright. So the first bonus we're going to go to is a Dusclops one. And then it's a Kyogre one. And then you'll repeat Dusclops and Kyogre again, because the second time you do Kyogre, you get to catch it. And then once you've caught Kyogre, you get to go to the Rayquaza bonus and beat Ray. Attentive players of this game will know that if you beat the Rayquaza bonus twice, you'll catch it. And
That's correct.
while we kind of considered that for a speedrun category for a bit, it ended up being not that interesting because it's just this run twice, basically. It's more interesting to try and optimize this shorter run than to play the longer version.
Yeah, I agree. It's just too long.
Yeah. So generally the way to get 2 bonuses is to fill up the 3 lights underneath where the slots appear. You get 1 light for a catch and 2 for evolving. So if you're not using slots, the general route is to catch a Pokemon and evolve it. Those 2 actions will give you the 3 lights and you get to go to bonus for that. We'll actually use a combination of that in this route. The general idea for this route is to burn through the first 5 slots as quickly as possible, and then do a mixture of catch and evolve plus slots to burn through the next 4. So you'll do catch and evolve for the second, the 5th slots for the 3rd.
I'm entering the first bonus now. Where are you?
I think I've got 1 more slots to do, so you're actually ahead of me by a long way.
Yeah, it's good that we both messed up on the first 5, so that it's still an even race.
Yes. Because unfortunately, the last time we did this, I did the same thing that Andy did, and Andy played really well, so I just got trounced immediately.
Yeah, I'm not doing so well right now, but I think I'll start doing better once I get into the rhythm, you know?
Yeah. This is
Okay.
This is a deceptive kind of game to speedrun. It's very, very easy to suddenly lose a lot of time to a single mistake.
It all comes down to how well you can aim your shots.
Yeah.
A lot of casual players just shoot the ball blindly, which is fun, but in order to get like good scores and keep your game going, it all comes down to how well you can aim and controlling the ball.
Yeah. There's a lot of like shot setups that the top runners know, like specifically how to get up. The Evo ramps or the Evo shots in general tend to be like the biggest difficult shots in the game. That and Hatch on Ruby Field. So we tend to have like setups that will generally work if we're good. But the game is pretty hard. It's easy to be not great.
That's the key, being good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really interesting speed game. It's quite fun from the sense that like it's really easy to get into. Like I got into this just because I remembered playing it as a kid, and I was like, well, I wonder what running it's like. And then like 10 years later, here I am.
Yeah, this is the first Game Boy Advance game I ever owned, believe it or not.
Wow, nice.
Along with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. You know, classic game right there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy and I have both moved on now from the first bonus. We're both going to be doing a combination of catches and slots here. So there are, in the second, so in every like cycle of 5 slots, the second slots will have a catch 'em start, and the 4th will have a go-to Evo if you have an evolvable Pokemon. So it's quite convenient to burn the slots and try and hit those if we can, because it saves having to light the lights up around the edge. It isn't the end of the world if you miss these. But it's
I've
nice
just gotten a
to
Geodude, which is nice because it's a 2-stage, so I can't get messed up by that.
I've got a
If you get an
Loudness,
unevolvable, it kind of can be bad because then you have to catch another Pokemon. The lights, the 3 lights don't carry over, so you kind of just waste time. But
yeah, so the first Pokemon you catch in any attempt is always evolvable, and that's like hard coded into the game. but everything after that isn't. So at the moment, I've got a Loudred and I can evolve that once, but if I get an unevolvable as my second catch, I'm screwed and I'll have to do an entire extra thing. Whereas Andy has the safety net that he can just evolve his Geodude twice. So he's set for the rest of his run now. And that will potentially be a much bigger issue in the Ruby field, where we'll do a lot more catches.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't hit the Ziggy button today. What's happening? This is what I mean about what I was saying earlier about having shots, but you've got to be good at them. Like, I knew what I was aiming for there, I just missed them by pixels.
Yeah, I just can't shoot the ball around the ring, you know? It's not that hard of a shot, but I'm making it difficult. There we go.
I don't know if we actually explained how to light all the slots, to be fair, but we're using a tilt that we have. So you have built into the game, there's up, left, and right tilts. You can basically use timed mashing. It's not quite full pace mashing, but if you time your mashing of up tilts, you'll get up here and be able to basically repeatedly set off the slots. Because you have to fill in all 4 lights.
Main difference between Pokemon Pinball and real pinball is you're allowed to tilt the table in this game, but in real pinball, the table will actually, like, it can sense if you're knocking it around and it'll just lock up. But Pokemon Pinball, yeah, it's fine. You can tilt the table.
Yeah. It does have there's a bit of a cooldown on it. You don't get like infinite tilts. It'll take half a second before it lets you tilt again. But there's
you do in Game Boy Pinball though.
Yeah. There's no like tilt limit or whatever. Some pinball games will let you tilt as much as you want, but if you tilt too much, it'll then just lock the ball out and you have to fall out. Andy's in the Kyogre bonus. Do you want to explain what's happening in that one?
I will. There's a big whale. His name's Kyogre, and I have to hit him 15 times, and then I win the stage.
15.
If I'm good, I can finish it on this second cycle here, but key word being if I'm good. So I think I'm about halfway done. And I got stuck in the whirlpool a few times, so it's not going to be a 2-cycle for me, but maybe you can get one. Are you there right now or no?
I'm just starting, yeah. The 2-cycle on Kyogre is kind of the holy grail.
Yeah.
Especially Kyogre 2, because you have to hit that one 17 times to catch it. Well, I got caught in a whirlpool immediately.
Yeah,
not a good start.
Got stuck in all of them. Okay, I have finished Kyogre. Yay for me.
So there's a level of RNG with these bonuses where like the whirlpools are going to go. I got screwed on that first round.
It's even worse on Groudon because those boulders can be very annoying. Now I'm back to Duskull, so I have to do this again. What's going on, Amoeba? You got to say something?
I'm having a fairly decent second round here. Oh, no, never mind. Shouldn't have said it.
Don't speak too soon.
Should have kept quiet.
Commentator's curse. Well, runner's curse, actually.
Yeah, Andy's... so you've seen how quickly Andy got back to the Duskull bonus stage there because of the slots. Absolutely no catches, hatches, anything required, just straight back in. And that's why this route's as powerful as it is.
Yeah, slightly less optimal because I got a catch right away, but it's still going to be okay.
Yeah.
Have we ever counted how many Duskulls you have to hit? I never count.
I want to say it's 15 as well. They like the number 15 in this game.
That's fair.
Let's count them now.
It's a nice number, you know?
Oh no, it's a little bit difficult. It's actually kind of difficult, so they do despawn, and I think despawn sometimes counts. Well, I've hit 5 and none of them despawn. 6, 7, 8.
Also, you notice when the Dusclops is spawning, the clock actually stops for a bit. Mine was at 106. If you can get him to spawn at like 110, I'd say that's good. 120 is like really good. Wouldn't you say, Amoeba?
Yes, that sounds about right. 15. Right, it's definitely not 15 because I'm at 15 and there's still 2 of them on the thing. 16.
Yeah.
17, 18. Alright, so it's 20, yeah. Wow, that's a lot more than I thought it would be. Yeah, so I just got a 116 there. That's a pretty good attempt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine was 106.
Drawing that time back.
I don't think we actually explained that. You can't hit Duskull from the front because he grabs the ball. You have to wait for him to either be walking like he is now or hitting from behind, which is really inconsistent.
Okay, this is not good. I just need to light up one more light to play slots, but I can't get the ball to go around. There we go. Okay. So I'm back to playing slots. I'm going to try to get a catch-em mode here, or get mode, as it's called in the Japanese version.
Oh yeah, you're on Japanese version. I'm on the PAL. Well, there wasn't really a difference between PAL and NTSC, but I'm on the English version. Gameplay-wise, absolutely no differences between the two. Just
there's no letter
visual.
at the beginning of the game that Peach doesn't read out loud in this one. Manips are the same in both, as far as we know, right?
Yes.
We haven't tested it.
No, I think Drinking has done it on Japanese. Because there's different ways to play this game. You can play on Wii U VC, obviously the original Game Boy Advance. I think did it come out on Switch as well, or am I just making that up? Was that a fever dream?
No, maybe it will later though.
No, they'll just release Pinball 3, surely.
Yeah,
like 8,000 years on.
20 years later.
The dream.
I didn't get screwed by Catch RNG because I found a shell gun, so all good there.
Congrats.
It's a fairly close race now, because aren't you're setting up for the final Evo, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah. I'm just behind you.
Well, we were talking about platforms just then. What's your poison? What do you folks?
I'm on the Game Boy player.
This game?
I'm also on the Game Boy player,
which I realize goes against the theme of the show.
That's all right. That's all right. It's still a handheld game, and it's the best way of capturing. Yeah. So
I go places with my GameCube and my Game Boy player.
I just died. Oof. I'm struggling with the same thing. I'm trying to get the slots little. I can't get there. Conveniently, if you come in from a fresh ball, then you get a very easy shot at it. So dying wasn't the end of the world there.
How often can you risk dying? I imagine like 3 times, or can you get enough bonuses of some sort to?
You see the the sign on the shop is all messed up right now.
Oh, what?
Review the footage.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. I've never seen that. Have you stayed corrupted?
I think this copy that I'm using is probably not official. I bought it like on eBay, so I think that's probably why.
Illegal speedruns. Cancel this man.
Yeah.
You can. It's kind of weird because that is reminiscent of like save. Well, to be fair, it might just be the dead battery actually. Because if you're having issues with your saves getting deleted, your save might actually be corrupted, which is something we figured out how to do only about a year ago. It almost has a use in a speedrun, but it doesn't quite yet. So, but yeah, you can save at certain points in this game and reset your console early, and it'll save portions of what you were doing, but it'll also have not overwritten portions of whatever save was already in there. So when you load the game, a lot of the graphics look ridiculous and just bright.
Yeah, there's videos of it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Dreekian, who's another talented one, I managed to find a way. Dreeky, sorry, of making that end a bonus stage early. So that's where we're almost on the precipice of glitching this run.
Almost.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult RTO. Basically impossible at the moment because of how tight the window is. So yeah, we're both in the Kyogre 2 Rooney bonus game. The same as the first one, except an extra 2 hits, which makes the 2 cycle really, really difficult. It is possible.
I'm definitely not doing it this time.
No, same.
I already missed it anyway. I might be able to get 3 if I'm lucky.
I think you and I are the only ones that have hit 2 cycle in a run, from memory. I think I said this last time, no one wasn't hugely confident about that.
Well, if you enjoy it, maybe you should run Pokemon Pinball and try to get the third 2-cycle Kyogre in history.
Oh, that was a rude Whirlpool, not bad.
We could use more players, though. It's not the most active game. I'm not getting the 3-cycle.
It's nice. It's quite simple to get into, but it's one of those games where the ceiling is extraordinarily high. Like, I don't think any of the records are anywhere near as good as they potentially could be.
It all comes down to bonus stages, because if you think about it, you could clear the Duskull stage in like 20 seconds if the ball just bounced off of all 20 of them instantly. Yeah. Like, if you're tasked, yeah, but...
I am also not getting a 3-cycle, wow. Kind of screwed by Whirlpools again.
I just didn't get any of those like multi-hits where you shoot between his tail and the wall.
Mm.
I think I'm going to Rayquaza, but I don't know. I am, okay, as long as I don't miss it. Okay. So I'm on the last bonus stage now. I'm going against Rayquaza, and he's a little bit tricky because he has these twisters he'll spawn, which are like the Whirlpools, but worse, because they'll throw the Pokeball up into the stratosphere, and you just have to sit there while Rayquaza laughs at you, and you can't do anything. So
do you just have to wait for it to come back down?
Pretty much, yep.
Great.
Ray also bounces up and down, so if you can miss him when you're aiming for him. I think the worst one as well is that if you're one hit away from beating Ray, or time's also going to be when Andy hits the final hit on there. If you're one hit away from beating Ray, he stops doing the Thunderbolt attack and only does twisters. Which really sucks because then he flies away before he does the twisters every time. So you can just get like spawn camped by twisters. It's terrible.
Yeah, wombo comboed.
I'm having a ridiculously good first cycle here. This could be close.
Wait, you're on him too?
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought you were. Oh, that's right. You were just on Kyogre too.
I got twisted. This is going to be close.
Ah, that was a bad shot. I think you got
twister.
it.
Ooh.
Nah, I got another twister.
I got paralyzed.
That's gonna be good.
But he's at least 2 more hits.
I'm a few away. I got spotted camped by a twister.
I think I have 1 hit. It has to be 1 hit.
Oh no, come on.
Oh
I want this comeback.
No, he's still 1 more. Oh no.
Time! I got it!
No,
oh my gosh!
No way!
Good race.
That was a really good race.
Man, good race, man. That was insane.
Wow.
That's what we want to see. That was good.
Oh man.
That's hilarious.
I had a really nice Rayquaza fight, I'll be honest.
Ah, man, I should have had that. Good race, man.
Yeah, good race. That is...
good job.
That's 1-0 to me. 2 seconds.
What was the time, by the way? It's the same for both of us. So what was it?
I'll have to await confirmation on that.
Say like 17, right?
The way that I usually see it. I can't see it at the moment, but we will get confirmation.
Stream has it at 18:35 for me, 37 for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad for a marathon with a few mistakes. So, yeah.
So obviously,
good job.
This is a best of 3.
Yeah.
So we're going to go straight back into this, and we're going to head over to the Ruby field.
Can we check this guy's console? I think he's running at more than 60 hertz. I don't know.
Can we check this guy's setup?
Has he got a game shot going? I don't know.
Check that. How many times did he hit Rayquaza?
I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this conversation already. I'm on an Au Natural Spice Orange GameCube with the matching Game Boy player.
Ooh.
Oh, my Game Boy player is black and my cube is silver, so I think that's why I'm at a disadvantage.
Yeah, it knows you're not on the matching colours.
Yeah.
Dear.
Right. So yeah, we've done 1 field. And we are ready for the Ruby field race. We'll give the timer a second just to be ready, you know. Oh, look at that. They've got it ready to go. Lovely, lovely. Andy, are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's have this one finish 1 second apart now instead of 2.
Yeah, I think you should win this one by a second, and then we'll tie Jirachi.
We'll tie Jirachi.
Yeah. That's just
you just revealed the okay.
So I'll leak the script, James. Right.
Yeah.
So
did you hear that?
What was that?
Hey, what?
All right, on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So, very similar concept to the Sapphire field, except we don't have a Zigzagoon, so we're not going to rely on the slots anywhere near as much. I believe, Andy, you're just going to go purely catch and evolve, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as I can make the shot, there we go.
I might risk a sneaky gamble at one of the slots, see if we can burn 4 slots and get lucky on a cheeky go-to bonus. It will be a complete waste of time if I don't get lucky, and it is 1 in 6 basically to actually hit Rayquaza.
But it would be hype.
It would be hype, yeah.
Another thing about Ruby Table is we have to do more catches, so we're more likely to get messed up by an unevolvable. Yeah. I've gotten a Talo, so not yet. But...
Well, you can't get messed up on the first one. It always gives you something to evolve.
Oh, that's right. I always forget that. But thank you for being
an absolute nerd with the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you guys don't know, Amoeba is the champion of this game, but undisputed. I'm just a mere mortal challenger.
I just like
place
this game
across the board.
Technically, it's not undisputed. I don't have Jirachi record at the moment.
Oh yeah, the most sought after category.
Vaguely disputed. The other disadvantage of not having Ziggies, even though I'm burning slots, I might get slow options like the Pikachu cutscene, which is the slowest possible one. But,
I'm trying to make the Evo shot, the infamous
yeah.
shot. This shot that I'm trying to make, we've actually found out sometimes you can do it perfectly and the game will just say, nope, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just getting messed up here.
There's like a weird... It's sort of built-in variance into the game where you can frame perfectly set up a shot. Even in like pass, you can just frame perfectly set up and do the same things, but the ball kind of exists in a cycle that it switches between, so the same exact shot might have 2 slightly different results. And so if you set up the Evo shot as we normally do in a run, there is a chance that you literally cannot hit it, that one frame's too early and the next frame is too late. You don't have a frame window to hit that shot.
Okay, I have... where are you right now?
I am mid-Evo. I'm lagging behind quite a bit.
I have just entered the first bonus stage of the Ruby table, which is the Kecleon stage. We don't get to fight Dusclops on this one. So for Kecleon, we have to knock him over, and then once he's knocked over, you can hit him. Although he is a chameleon, so he can disappear. But if you hit him before he disappears, then he'll just sit in plain sight and let you get the free hits. Also, I think that's the Devon scope that you can pick up or something. Yeah, just like in the real games. The real Pokemon games.
The real games. Maybe a hot take. This is my favorite bonus stage. I think the Kecleon's the best one. It's the only advantage Ruby has over Sapphire Field, is that I love this bonus stage.
Now you've made me question, what's my favorite bonus? I don't even know.
And also possibly another hot take. I think the Groudon bonus is better than the Kyogre bonus as well.
Because you can one-cycle it?
Not better, but I enjoy it more. Yeah, you can... It is possible to one-cycle it, although it's kind of insane. Whereas Kyogre is pretty much...
Oh, I'll do it, don't worry.
Yeah, sure thing, man. I'll let you have that one. But yeah, Kyogre is kind of locked into a minimum 2 cycle. You just cannot get the hits on it. But Groudon isn't like a set timer. You can kind of stun lock him by hitting him, and his like next action doesn't happen for a little bit longer.
I've got a Voltorb, which is evolvable, so I'm 2 for 2.
Nice. I'm struggling to bully the Kecleon properly at the moment.
Yeah, mine was pretty good. I'm normally pretty bad at it, but got lucky.
Andy, I feel like I just saw a tilt that like the ball was almost certainly going to go out.
Everything's fine. Everything's under control.
This is not okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you see, right. There's like a little small circle. There's like a little peg between the look under the Latios. There's like a little circle. The ball can bounce off of that. So that's what that was. I'm not cheating. Okay. I swear, guys.
Okay.
My dad works for Game Freak. Okay. Yeah. You can actually save the ball by tilting if it goes down that Pikachu ramp.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's a really good example of like one of those shots the top level runners do know for this game, because falling out is always going to be slower. Like the only time that it's ever faster is on Ruby Field specifically, when you're doing an evolve and your experience is right at the top. It's like sometimes that's faster to fall out and just get it on the way back in. But it's generally always going to be faster to just save yourself if you can.
Yeah, because there's the animation of the Latias saving it. Maybe you said that and I just missed it. My bad.
Nope. Good addition. Don't you panic. I have a Magnemite, so I'm doing all right on evolvables at the moment.
So proud of you.
Well, thanks.
I'm failing the Evo ramp shot per usual.
I do think that Evo ramp is maybe the hardest shot in the game, or possibly Hatch on this stage. They're about as bad as each other.
Yeah, that shot is what's the word, like when it looks easier than it is?
You've got me now. I was going to say unforgiving, but that's not quite
What is that word?
That help.
Help me out. The word where it's like...
I got another capture mode. That's
I'm trying to play pinball, you know?
Terrible. I'm going to have to do 3 things now on this, because this Catchum's only going to give me a single light again. I was basically just trying to burn the slots, and this is another downside to the Ruby Field, is that you could potentially end up ruining your route by having something like this happen. It will be insurance going forwards, because I'll have plenty of things to evolve, but it is just slower. Not the best.
Oh, chat is coming in. We're getting unassuming, unexpected, deceptive.
Deceptive. It's deceptively hard to make that shot. I knew it started with D.
But it's deceptive of you, because you said un. You said it was a word beginning with un. So I'm sat there going, un what? I know what you mean.
Know. What is that word? Oh, these are the worst boulders in Pokemon pinball history. Just so you know.
That is cringe.
At least they're gone now, but I didn't get to hit him at all. This is the same thing, right? 15 hits, I think.
Unintuitive, is it that one? I like that as a suggestion.
I like that. Was it at the marathon when I got the cheese against him? Where I got the ball stuck? Yeah.
You got it in practice, didn't you, before the marathon? Well, we keep saying the marathon. There was a Pokemon Speedruns marathon that we did this same setup for.
Oh, yeah.
Which is...
So you see how he has these 4, which we still don't know what this move is. These 4 walls of fire. You can get the ball stuck back there if you time it right, and then it'll just keep hitting him over and over, and you just beat the stage without having to touch the controller.
Yeah, that's that's part of the elusive 1 cycle that we were talking about. So you can see from the start that I just had how you kind of stun lock him, because I got 3 shots off there. Whereas Andy couldn't get a single one because of the boulder spawns. That was unfortunate.
I had a pretty good Groudon.
I just got owned by the fireball. What are these boulders? Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
The boulder is conflicted.
I can't do anything about that.
Oh, you know what this is, right? You know what that reference is, right?
Isn't it an Avatar something?
Yeah.
I've never seen that show though, sorry.
Did you guys know Amoeba is a huge fan of US sports? He knows all sports teams.
You can tell because I have the words UK in my username.
Is this an evolvable, please?
That looks like a Nilamise. Yes. No, it's a Nilamise, mate.
What? Oh.
That is not evolvable, unfortunately.
Imagine
this guy doesn't know Pokemon from their silhouettes. You never watched the anime.
Who's
that Pokemon?
I thought it was Goldeen.
It's non-evolvable.
It's Amoeba.
We do need a new Pokemon pinball. Please tweet at the guy that makes Pokemon games, whose name escapes me.
John Pokemon.
That's a strange username.
It's my uncle.
All right, so basically it's over, right? Because I got the unevolvable. Unless you get one too.
You've got a hell of a lead on me. I'm only just leaving the Groudon. bonus.
Yeah, but I keep missing. Maybe I'll go for hatch here.
Oh, that's brave.
Yeah, well,
You
I'm
can
gonna
set
do
up
it now. If I can hit the shot. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I get another unevolvable. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It can happen, but yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
no.
2-stage. That's pretty cool. Okay.
It's pretty safe. I'm just trying to get into the
Did I get
Sharpie,
him?
don't know. Hey, I did it, yeah. Good lord. So yeah, you'll
It's just
notice.
the wormhole. Oh no.
You may have noticed that the estimate for the Ruby field is 5 minutes extra compared to Sapphire field. It's purely because of the lack of slots. Not that they don't exist, but that we can't stop them on the things that we want.
Well, Amoeba's record actually does the same strategy. He just gets
yeah.
lucky on every slot, which is, I think you said 1 in 106.
108, I think. Yeah, it's something terrible. So yeah, the
Wow.
basic strategy for record level Ruby runs is to just YOLO the slots and hope you get lucky. Which the top 2 runs on the leaderboard do.
You did not just do that.
I'm 30 years old, by the way. We are out here making doo-doo references. Any questions?
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
I'm sorry for stealing your bit. Oh, I have hatch set up now as well. Why do that?
I
think
cannot
I'm-
light up Evo. Jeez. Go ahead.
I think I'm taking the lead because I've just finished Evo.
Yes.
I'm about to go
and
to
I can't
Kecleon
even. I
2.
can't even light up the shot. It's like the easiest shot. Jeez, I might even activate travel if I'm not careful.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go.
Save that for the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to bully Kecleon again. Did we ever find out if you have to, if like Kecleon 2 is more hits? I don't think we ever did. I don't think because Dusclops isn't. And that's the same.
Don't know. Find out.
I've already lost count. I can't count past 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna be messing up the Evo shot as per usual. Like, just can't do it. So I think the only way that you don't win here is if you just like throw on Groudon or Rayquaza or something.
Top 8, got you loud and clear. That was a really
I
clean
just
Kecleon
started
fight.
Evo. Oh my god. So it's basically over.
It's not basically ever. I can have exactly the same issues you can. I've got to be wasting some time on some slots as well yet as well. I've only burned 2 of them, so let's get another one out of the way here.
Oh, you are going for slots?
Yeah, why not? I've burned 3 now, so might as well. Let's see if I can hit this hat shot as well. Nope. Oh, the wish cache. God, yeah, so that's exactly how I lose this, is going into the wish cache.
Ooh. Please do
So-
that.
If you accidentally if you enter wish cache, it takes you to another bonus stage that's specifically only for gaining score. It's really good for score, but you're stuck in the bonus stage. You can't lose it in any way. So if you go in there in a run, you just lose 2 minutes, just basically watching a cutscene. It's
I'm
generally
only just
not a
starting.
threat for like these shorter runs, but the long. I got a Chimecho out of hatch. Nice. The long, like 6-hour catch-em-all speedrun can be undone by that wish cache quite easily.
It's just a way to get a bathroom break, though.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully I've got a lot of stuff in the back that I can evolve that Chimecho doesn't matter too much.
Whoop-de-doo. So happy for you.
I'm sensing a little bit of sarcasm there, Andy.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that comment.
Don't appreciate the tone, to be honest. Oh,
Oh, can somebody unplug this man's GameCube real quick?
this we just nipped to the UK. Yeah.
I'm probably not too far away. I'm sure I can hook you up with a little bribe, perhaps.
Right, so I'm trying to get to the Evo. Hey.
I'm just starting to catch him. At least this Pokemon's evolvable.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got the Illumise. That's screwed you.
Yeah. It would have been too unfair for me to get the evolvable Pokemon. I know you need the help.
All right. But yeah, so I'm
society. If Andy had got a evolvable Pokemon.
So after this, I'm going to be. I've got one more slots to burn, and then hopefully, if we're really, really lucky, because I totally need it, I'm going to get go-to Rayquaza from the slots, and that will be fast. Way faster than having to do another catch and hatch. Can I please get out of the Chinchu?
Would it be the 1 in 3 or 1 in 6 Rayquaza?
This would be the 1 in 6. It only becomes 1 in 3 on the 15th slot, the 15th, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you were doing that many slots or not. I'm not watching.
No, only doing 5. I just burned a few as I was going along.
Okay, I'm at my final boss, the Evo ramp shot again.
This ramp is not nice.
I'm sure you hit it every time, right?
No, I messed it up a fair bit. It's not a nice shot.
Hey, okay. But can you lose Groudon real quick? That would be great.
Sure, buddy.
The easiest bonus stage. Oh, it looks like I have.
The average can screw you on this. It is possible. Wow, nice boulders. Wow. Yeah, it's unlikely.
Guess where I have to shoot the ball to get the EX?
Still the Evo ramp. I love the Evo ramp.
It is.
My best friend.
So do you know, like, is there a... I know that, you know, it's constantly changing as, you know, it's based on physics, but do you know any, like, kind of windows or, like, kind of pixel, like, I don't know, positions where you can get all of the different ramps and stuff, or is it just kind of eyeballing it and knowing kind of where it's
gonna go? It. I don't know about you.
You can yeah, I mean there is a level of eyeball in it. For the Evo ramp, I have a fairly set setup where I'll bounce the ball until it stops on the left flipper, let it roll, and then there's a visual cue. I can't describe it perfectly, but there's a point as it's rolling down where I want to press the button to flick it up into the Evo ramp. So yeah, that's the kind of like knowing those kind of shots. Yeah, it's not perfect, purely because of how the game works. You cannot be perfect at it, but yeah, it does work. It's not always just flinging the ball and hoping.
You know the upgrade you can get by shooting the ball around where Nuzleaf makes a bridge for you? Mine's 1 up right now. I rarely see that.
Oh, that is rare, yeah.
Do we know what causes that?
I don't think we do. No, it's never been needed for a speedrun, so no.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going for the lucky... 30 coins. No luck. So I'm going to have to do a catch and evolve.
But at least you're rich.
I am rich now, yeah. I've got 41 coins. Another 58 and I can afford another life. Maybe one where I'm not a speedrunner. So it's a closer race again. I mean, if I'd have got that go-to bonus there, that probably would have just been it. Once I died to Ray, that's probably over. But now I've got to catch and evolve again. I always want to say catch and hatch because it rhymes, but it's not what we do.
I mean, you can do that. I'm not going to stop you. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
None of the... Oh no, I was about to say none of the Pokemon I got were not evolvable, but I did get a Chimekia, so... I think I could still lend you one if you wanted one.
I'll take one. I have caught a Groudon. It's pretty cool. Do you know what a Groudon's Japanese name is?
I don't know.
Groudon.
I can see that coming from a bottle.
Somehow I didn't. More fool me for expecting a genuine question from this man. Yeah, final Evo for me. Oh, I'm lucky to have the Maka hitter because that's up the Nuzleaf ramp. Very nice. And then
I only have one Chinchou, dang.
Rayquaza bonus for me again. The Ray bonuses are the only bonuses that are exactly the same. There's no differences between Sapphire and Ruby Field, so...
Yes.
Same premise. Go fast. Don't fall out. It's probably the only bonus where there is a legitimate chance we could time out. You can just get Wombo comboed by Twisters. You do kind of have to be a little bit bad for that to happen. But you do only have, I think, a 2-minute 30 timer, maybe 3 minutes.
That's 3 on Rayquaza, isn't it?
Yeah, it is 3, yeah. Well remembered.
Oh, thank you. I tried my best.
Yeah, I'm not having anywhere near as good of a first cycle here as I did in the last attempt. Okay. So we do deliberately, I don't know if we mentioned this on the last one because it was so close, we do deliberately fall out there because of his using extreme speed, throws the ball away. It's way more likely that you get hit by a Twister by that than by falling out.
It's all about controlling the ball.
I unfortunately got spawn camped again. Unlucky.
Alright, I only have to hit this shot one more time. Yay!
Hey,
Yay.
smooth.
I'm free, I'm free. I twisted again.
Yeah, what's up, Aerodactyl?
Oh, not having a very good Ray here. It's all falling apart.
Surely you don't lose, right? Right?
Right?
For content.
If you should disrespect me. Pause before the final hit,
Yeah.
and then
not account for stream delay and lose by 10 seconds. Sure. I don't know what the last hit is either. I could be on the last one now.
Well,
I was time.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry. I would have disrespected you, but I didn't know how to.
Nah. I was kidding. I didn't want to actually do that.
No.
I mean, I would have found it funny. GG.
Good race. I got messed up by the unevolvable, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate part of the run. You just can't get screwed over like that.
Yeah. At least we can watch me for a bit while you get to just relax.
Yeah.
But that's a 2-0 for you. But
So we
I
can go
can
for Glory.
Sneak Jirachi in. Maybe.
So yeah, as Andy has alluded to, our final category, it's only a 5-minute category, but we are going to be catching Jirachi. It's kind of a neat little combo to finish on because it's going to do the one thing that we haven't really done on either field, and that's use the travel mechanic, which is there on both. So on the Ruby field, I can probably show you actually while we're doing this. It's the Linoon on the left-hand side. So if I hit Chikorita, that will activate Linoon. And then if I hit Linoon, that will give me a Gulpin. And then once you've got 3 Gulpins, you go to travel mode, and you spin around the outside loop, and then go in the slot hole. And that will travel you to a different destination. And you can sort of choose your destination, because if you kind of get 2 options by going either left or right on the loop, but the game doesn't tell you what the options are. We know what they are from
Well, I don't.
From reverse engineering. We kind of specifically know them for the catch them all
Speedrun.
Yeah.
Can we do that for game 3?
No, because it's like 6 hours. I'm sorry. It was slightly throw the schedule on.
I think it'll be fine.
But yeah, thankfully for
do have a sleep appointment at a certain time. So
all right, time. Yay me.
GG.
But yeah, we will be able to get to the ruins of Alph after 6 travels, and that's where we can catch Jirachi. And I figured I would explain that now, so that we can concentrate on our very important game 3.
Yeah, I gotta try to avoid the sweep, right?
Yeah.
I gotta try.
That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
If I got swept, oh yeah, yeah.
The last time it was last time we did this, it was 2-1. I clinched the victory on Jirachi, but I got absolutely destroyed on Sapphire Field. That's the thing. Yeah, you kept it really close. I did the same thing that you did, where I accidentally went into the catch mode right at the start. I remember that.
Oh yeah. Well, what can you do besides be better?
Yeah, it's hard, bro. I'm trying. But yeah,
Right,
if you're
we got one run left.
yeah, if you're ready, Andy.
Absolutely.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, this is going to be a way more rapid speedrun than the other two, hopefully. We just have to get that button on the left-hand side lit up as quickly as we can.
Honestly, the sportsmanship. I heard a good luck from Andy, but not from Amoeba.
Ooh.
Maybe that's why Amoeba's winning.
Wow.
Yeah. Sportsmanship loses you games.
I am currently losing this race. That was a very poor first attempt. There's some really interesting strats considering how sort of basic this run is as a concept. It is possible to hit the button all 3 times and go around the loop in a single hit.
I cannot get it in, please. It's just okay. One. I got one. We have to do it 6 times, by the way. Okay. 6 times.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. Those are really interesting setups.
So yeah, I'm trying to tilt off the bumper here. So you can, with really good timing, you can get all 3 of those hits, and you can also bounce around the loop as well, which is just ridiculously finicky. I'm hoping that I can hit one of these.
You said if you're really good timing, you can get all 3 in one, right?
Yeah, so you can get all 3 and
good timing.
Yeah, you do. You're actually all right at this game, my dude. I'm not going to do that. Don't you worry.
Oh, never mind. I don't have good timing. I got 2 of them though.
You say my timing's okay. I can't get into the slots hole again. It's happening. It's so over. It continues to be over. Please let me out. Holy hell.
The scariest thing about this run is accidentally shooting the ball into whale mode to start catching mode.
Yeah, the game gives you like catch and mode ready to start for free.
I would cry. I cannot shoot the ball around. Oh my goodness. It's the easiest thing. There we go.
I got 2. Yeah, the timing for the tilts off of the button is really tight. You have to be really on it with those.
I think I'm at 3. I don't know.
You probably are, because I'm just about to do 3. Either that or you're massively ahead. Could be bad news for me.
These are nice paintings. I quite like these.
I love the sprite work for some of the Pokemon in this game is gorgeous. Shuppet sprite particularly is amazing. I got 2 again.
I almost just bounced the ball into Wilmer. That was so scary.
Ooh, that was nice.
Oh. I'm just going to lose the ball. I don't care. I did not want to shoot it into Wilmer. Because like YOLO shooting, you have no idea where the ball's going to go. It's safer. I'd say it's safer to just lose the ball so I can regain control.
I probably agree. You do kind of sometimes get stuck in a cycle where the ball never ends up on a flipper and you just try and do your best to gain some control back.
Here I am, trying to get the ball into the slot again.
Hey,
I'm sure you're ahead now.
No, I am on the same one that you are.
Okay, I just finished 4.
I'm behind. I've literally taken 30 seconds to try and get into the slot hole. It's ridiculous. There we go. I promise I was good at this game once.
I did not promise that.
The other thing we do need to have set up at some point for this.
3! Let's go.
We are going to need the slots once we're at Ruins of Alph, but it's very important to not set them up early, because it makes the slots another danger to go in. I think you have a hefty lead on me now.
I just finished 5, yeah.
I'm just doing the loop.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Nice. Let's go.
Although I need, like Amoeba said, I should probably set up slots first.
I would do it once you're in there. I'd get there first because you can always just set slots up afterwards. Oh no!
Probably.
Oh no! I can't hit the button, dude. It's happening. It's happening. Please.
Oh, that could have been bad.
So this is a really good category to show off how things can just spiral.
Nice.
Like, I'm still just bouncing around. And this category at the top level is like 4 minutes long. Not even. I think we're sub 4 now on the record. So, yeah.
I'm in a predicament.
So we are now both at Ruins of Alph. We've got to get into the slots and activate Jirachi.
I need to light up slots first.
Yeah. I should just be able to set mine up here. Oh, this is going to be a close finish again.
Oh no, I forgot. I was gonna lose the ball to avoid shooting into Whalmer. I was scared, but
Oh, you lose your slots, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's just over. I have no idea what to do now.
Time is on the 3rd hit on Jirachi. 1. I missed.
I can't find a way to get the lights lit up without shooting into Whalmer.
3, time.
Good job.
GG. Amoeba with the 3 for 3.
That,
my condolences, Andy.
That Jirachi game was pretty bad, I think, from both of us, but we did well on the Sapphire and Ruby field.
Alright, I just got in the slots now.
Finish it out, my dude.
Yeah. I got scared. I did not want to go into catch-up mode. That would have been worse. What was your in-game clock when you got the Jirachi? Can I at least beat that?
17, 18, I think.
Okay, can I at least beat that?
Yeah. In-game time is all that matters. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. GG.
Andy wins the whole thing.
Andy.
Oh,
I have been bested.
Yeah, all the other previous results are now mute.
Yes.
You did the fastest, Jirachi.
Yeah.
You win.
I just think we should remove all Amoeba's runs from the leaderboard after that.
Oh, all right.
That was good, man. Those have been good races, especially
Yeah.
Sapphire. That was really close.
Yeah, I loved how close that was. Well, that's good because it was the Sapphire is definitely the best category. So it's nice to show a good one off there.
Thanks so much for having us on. I would say please follow Amoeba UK on Twitch because he speedruns actual Pokemon games like Emerald and Moon.
I would say please follow your friend Andy on Twitch because he ILs actual speed games like Mario Kart Double Dash.
I do play Double Dash. I just got in top 200 in time trials a couple months ago. So yay me.
Exactly.
Yo, let's go. You'd love to hear it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us on. It's an absolute blast to represent this game. Do love this game.
I love this game. Except when I don't like it.
except when it
Except
sucks.
right
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely stick around. I know that TCG's coming up. That run is silly fast. Like, good TCG runners are a different breed. It's going to be a fun one.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
But yeah, thank you very much for having us on once again.
No problem. Thank you so much for making this a race. Originally, I just, reached out to Amoeba. I was just like, hey, can you hook us up with this? And he was just like, oh, I got you. I got something even better. And I was just like, it's got to happen. So yeah, thanks for being down to clown, both of you. That was good fun. And who knows? Maybe I think you gotta keep on submitting this to things.
Oh yeah, we'll get a rematch in. We'll get another rematch.
Yeah, we need to see a rematch. But yes, I mean, you've heard it from them. A runner's recommendation is certainly better than mine because I know nothing about Pokemon. So we are going to be having Toro Night showing off Pokemon trading card game, staying on the GBA. And hey, you've heard it from them. It's going to be fun. So do stick around. We're going to be dropping off onto a break. But yeah, do stick around. Use it as an opportunity to, get up, have a stretch if you have the capacity to do so. Have a little drink. If you're feeling hungry, get some food, get some scran. But we'll be back in a little while with some more Pokemon gaming. See you in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Games Done Quick Hotfix, and this is Going Places. This is the Speedrun travel show, I like to call it. We go around the world having a look for region-exclusive games, seeing games that maybe might not have reached us, or maybe games of our own that never reached other people. So seeing region-exclusive games, very long-winded way of explaining that, but we also have the games that we would take on our go, on the go with handheld consoles, mobile devices, and we've already seen one GBA game. We're about to see another, but just a little bit of housekeeping before we move on to the rest of this Pokemon extravaganza. Games Done Quick is hiring, and if you're a business developer or have some sort of experience in recruiting sponsorships and would like to work for GDQ, you can apply at gamesdonequick.com/jobs. And if you didn't see any of the crazy pinball action that we just had in the last couple of runs, that best of 3 Amoeba taking all of the glory there. If you've missed out on that or any of the other brilliant hotfix shows that we have, or GDQX last weekend, that was live at TwitchCon, which I've heard very good reports about there being a whole load of fun, not just in the event, but also on the live stream. You can find all of the runs from that and hotfixes, of course, on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Alrighty, we are going from a batch of very quick speedruns to something that's taking us a little bit longer, but I'm sure is just as intriguing and filled with its own little bits of random. I've heard from commentary already, but we are going to be throwing it over to our runner today, who is Toro Knight, showing us Pokemon trading card game. How is it going, Toro?
It's going great. I'm so excited to be doing this game. It's been a long journey for this game to get to this point, but I couldn't be more excited, and I couldn't be more excited to have my commentator, Rogentreg.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, no, I've been running this game for
far longer than I have.
Yeah, far longer than you have, but that doesn't matter. I just love this game. You know, this game is the peak of that random game you played on the Game Boy Color that you played when you were young, enjoyed massively, put it away in a closet, and forgot about it. And then you come back to it and you think, oh yeah, that was amazing. And also the music's banger, so do enjoy that.
Let's go. That's all we need.
Right. Alrighty then, I think we're just about ready to start. Time will begin as soon as we hit end. If I can remember where the letter Q is, there we go. All right. And we are now ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
All right. So we begin the game as a young guy who's out there ready to collect cards and go fast. Sadly, we can't go fast for about 8 minutes because tutorial is a thing. If you were doing the any % run, you could skip about 7 minutes of this, but we're not doing that, so you'll get to enjoy learning how to play the card game.
Yeah, and this game is actually pretty fast-paced. The tutorial, well, you can skip the tutorial, it'd just be adding on 8 minutes and 3 seconds, but because of the nature of how fast this game is, and believe me, we have over 20 fights that each of them are going to go anywhere from like 45 seconds to 2 minutes. It's going to be a lot of high-octane card action. Whoops, there we go. So,
and as is tradition, we mess up the tutorial deliberately because it's so slow and so painfully slow, and you'll all understand this in about 7 minutes' time. But we'll just go over we'll give a brief overview of how the game works. So, let's start off. You have 3 types of cards. First, Pokemon cards. We gotta love those. You've got base and evolution versions. You play your base cards. You have 1 at the front, called your active Pokemon, and then you can have 5 on your bench, as if it was a real Pokemon game. And every turn, unless it's the first turn, you may evolve your Pokemon. If you have one that can be evolved, so like we see a Sea King in our hand, so we'll be evolving that pretty quickly. Then we come to energy cards, which is just the resource for this game. If you know of a mana system in Hearthstone, the mana system there, the land system in Magic the Gathering, you name it, it's this sort of thing. In this case, we attach them directly to the Pokemon so they can use their attacks. Most of the time we'll be only attaching 1 to 2 and all the way up to 4 on some rare occasions in order to attack. But you can only place 1 per turn. Finally, we have trainers, which are completely unhinged and busted. If you remember Yu-Gi-Oh! And your spell cards, they're just instant play. You play the card, you do a thing. So this is one of the most busted formats of Pokemon of all time in the sheer amount of card draw you get. So, for example, we have a card called Bill, which is basically Pot of Greed, but no one remembers what Pot of Greed does, so Bill is much easier to understand in that you just draw 2 cards. Pot of Greed is still a mystery to me to this day, but the more powerful version of that is Professor Oak, who draws 7 cards, but after you discard your hand, which is not much of a cost, as you'll soon find out. And I'll go over certain ones that, when we see them in a run, I'll explain what they do, because some are more important than others.
Now, the deck that we're going to be running, first of all, I will not reveal what the deck is going to be for another 6 minutes, or 5.5, 6 minutes. So each deck has its own set of cards, including trainers, where depending on what you pick, you'll have certain trainers that can help you tremendously throughout the run early on, or they may require you to do a little bit of extra work just to be able to sort of catch up. But the 3 decks are based on the starters: Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur. I have with me a plush of the deck that I'm using, but I'm not going to reveal it. I want chat to sort of guess what we will be running.
If I was more knowledgeable in this sort of thing, I would give a guess, but I'm probably the worst person to ask. But it'll be interesting to see what chat comes up with.
Well, how about you, Hib? What are you thinking out of the original 3? Which do you think is the fastest?
Am I just picking between a number to 1 or 3, or is there a little more information that you can?
You're picking Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur. It's that simple.
Well, we got it. What about Squirtle? Squirtle's always everybody roots for Squirtle to win. And legitimately, Squirtle is my favorite Gen 1 starter.
That's a reasonable take.
Okay, I'm mentioning a lot of Squirtle.
There's a lot of people thinking
Squirtle.
Squirtle.
For that crap. Let's just go Bulbasaur.
You're going Bulbasaur? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's a reasonable guess.
We're seeing a Squirtle in chat. Ooh, 2 Squirtles.
Yeah,
okay.
Got a few. I've got 1 Bulbasaur, a few Squirtles. No love for Charmander. Don't know where the Charmander's fans are, but anyway.
Which is funny because Charmander on the leaderboard is like 85% of the leaderboard. All Charmanders.
That is true. But yes, and I'll go into that in a bit because once Toro picks which deck for today. But just you may have seen just now we took a prize, and this is I should explain the win conditions for us winning a duel, as it were. So there are 2 main win conditions we're going for. There is a third, but it's never going to happen to them anyway. So the first win condition is they have no more active Pokemon. So that means they have nothing on their bench when we knock out their active Pokemon. That they can't replace their Pokemon, so we win. The other way is the way we don't want to win, is by taking all of the prizes. Now, prizes are, you get to pick a prize every time you knock out a Pokemon. However, this varies from 2 prizes to 6 prizes. Because this is the TCG game, and they hadn't figured out that everyone would use 6 prizes always, unless it's sudden death. Now, the other way we can win is if the opponent's deck runs out of cards. That's not going to happen.
I mean, if we end up winning via deck out, something must have gone horribly wrong.
I don't think it's possible for us to win via deck out.
Well, we'll see with Murray, the Psychic Gym Leader. I've won a couple of fights just by deck out.
If you seriously wanted Psychic... My goodness. I have never won by deck out. I have lost by deck out, though. I have definitely lost by deck out. There is also... there is a small chance that you can draw a game, which we'll only go over if it happens. But if you get to see it, you can say that's never happened before because it is exceedingly rare and you get a very, very special tune of mediocrity as the game is sad that nobody won. So you'll get that special little jingle, but in order to set it up, it's just... Basically, you need to have both... You both need to have a win condition happen at the same time, which is incredibly rare. Yeah.
Now...
and then you play another game.
Now we're just about ready to finish up the tutorial. This will be the last attack. And after we pick our deck, we are going to do some RNG manipulation. And this will be one of a few occasions that we're going to manipulate the RNG. And so in this game, we have a mailbox. We have a PC that operates similarly to that in the standard Pokemon games. The only big addition in the PC here in TCG is that every so often you will get mail packs. So you get a fresh set of cards after reaching certain milestones. You get the first one right after you get your first deck, and that one is a Coliseum pack, one of the 4 different packs that we can get in this game. When we can, depending on, this game operates by frames. And if we get to a certain frame, we can actually manipulate it into getting a certain card that we want, which we'll explain later. Now, here comes the reveal. It's Bulbasaur. We are going to be running the Bulbasaur deck, which is my favorite deck to run.
So, Bulbasaur, yeah, there's a lot of positives to Bulbasaur. The biggest positives are it contains Hitmonchan and it contains one of our favorite trainers called Plus Power. Now, Plus Power, all it does is it makes your next attack do 10 extra damage, and for what it's worth, that is 1 more damage than normal.
Now,
However, that matters so often, it's actually stupid. Anyway, go ahead with your mail manips, I'll explain as we go. So, to understand the RNG in this game, when you can see the overworld, the RNG is running. When you cannot see the overworld, the RNG is paused. Which means that basically, in duels, your RNG is frozen until it is called upon. This means we can manipulate things. And he hit it second try.
There we go.
So we were looking for that Hitmonchan. So, I'll let you do your deck edits because that takes a lot.
The reason why we went for Hitmonchan is because having 2 Hitmonchans is really, really good. But not only that, Hitmonchan, strangely enough, is the only card in this like big mail manipulation of RNG where there are 5 consecutive frames where you can get Hitmonchan if you just hit any of them. And we hit one of them, and I believe that was like the 2nd or the 3rd frame.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you got it. Also, one thing you did see there is, Toro speaking to the energy guy on the right. In order to get more energy from him, and you can do this with any save file, if you have a certain, if you don't have many energy in your deck, in your available pool of cards, you can talk to him and you can get more. Some people do this once, some people do it twice, and it's a great way to get a lot of energy really, really fast. Anyway, for all we praise about Bulbasaur, we're getting rid of Bulbasaur immediately, and we're going straight on to Hitmonchan.
I will say, for those of you who picked Charmander, you are half correct, because we will actually be using Charmander in one specific fight. We're not going to use him in any other fight, and we're not going to use Bulbasaur. But the reason why we picked Bulbasaur is it has the most amount of resources where it is beginner-friendly. The only negative is it doesn't have computer search, but we can live with that.
So, computer search is one of the best cards in the game. You discard 2 cards from your hand and you search up any card in your deck. So, naturally, that's one of the best cards for the run. However, we don't need to have it, and it's also slow to use it, because it will probably take you about anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds to find the card you want. And all of the all the menuing you have to do to get there. Sure, this is sometimes perfect, but sometimes it's slow, and that's the way with things. As you can see, we get the first reset of the run. got to get a lot of resets in here. So we do save before every fight, because every fight can go wrong. And I mean every fight. Even the easiest fight I had go wrong in our race a few weeks back, and had to reset it. So we save in front of everyone, and anytime we see an unfavorable position, we reset the game, and then continue onwards. Now, the good thing about game reset is you can either go straight to the overworld and try the fight all over again, or you can go back into the duel and take back certain plays that were done on your not all of them, and we'll be more specific with this later, but as I said earlier, the RNG is frozen, so there are some plays where we can mess around with the RNG by calling upon the RNG in order to influence coin flips.
This is a disastrous start. Jessica has not been cooperative one bit.
She has not been.
We're just gonna hope.
Pray? Okay, we're on the pray.
Yeah,
pray train. Everyone pray for...
Oh, no, never mind.
50. No, never mind.
You know, Jessica is very annoying because she has a lot of potentially high-powered Pokemon, and she also has a Doduo, which oddly enough we haven't seen yet, and that is a Pokemon that the moment we see it, that's an auto reset.
Oh.
Yeah. The problem with Doduo for Hitmonchan is Pokemon have weaknesses and resistances in this game. Weaknesses are across the board. You do 2 times damage, and this is very relevant, as you've seen with Rattatas. They take twice as much damage from Hitmonchan because fighting beats normal. Makes sense. But Doduo, because it's flying type, has a resistance to fighting, which means it takes 30 less damage. Which takes 30 less damage, and that's that. And unfortunately, we have only 20 damage on the Hitmonchan, so yeah. Luckily, we get a nice Heather, and we'll be moving on straight away. That's what we want to see, just one turn, bam, insta-win.
Oh wow, we got it, and we got a computer search off of that Heather win. Heather is one of the easiest fights in the game, and you saw there we got lucky with a 1-turn victory, so that is already very positive as we head into one of the hardest fights in the entire game, believe it or not. I'll let Rod explain why Michael is so tough.
So Michael is basically Haymaker. If you know TCG1, the sort of basically at the start of the game when the base set was out, when Fossil was out, Michael's basically playing Haymaker, a modified version. It has the Electables, it has the Hitmonchans, but he's also, instead of getting Scythers, he's got Hitmonlee and Magmars. Thank goodness he doesn't have Scyther, because this would have been a nightmare fight anyway, on top of an already nightmarish fight. So yes, did we get the tails? Oh, perfect. And that is an amazing Michael. We take those. We absolutely take those. That's one of the best Michaels around.
Now, I know there were some people that were on the Jessica fight wondering, like, why didn't I use Pokeball right before I lost to Primate? But the reason why is because it's a potential time loss and the amount of time that we could lose. The amount of time that we lose just hoping that we can get something going, it's honestly not worth it. Better to reset.
Now we hope we never see Flying Pikachu. Oh, thank goodness for that. Yeah. So, Jennifer has a Pikachu deck. Her deck contains 4 copies of Pikachu, 4 copies of Surfing Pikachu, and 4 copies of Flying Pikachu. We don't want to see Flying Pikachu for a ton of reasons. The first is it's got a resistance to fighting. It's got a resistance to fighting. It also has paralysis, so 50-50 chance of being able to neutralize us for 1 turn. And if it ever gets to 3 energy, it's got a 50% chance to just totally negate anything we do. Thankfully, we didn't see it, and that's what we want to see. And we keep on cruising. Now, I've seen that your packs so far have been pretty sweet. I mean, an item finder, computer search...
Well, we don't have a Dugtrio, which is very concerning because we don't have many chances to get a Dugtrio.
So, one thing about packs in this game is, yes, we can mail manipulation and whatnot, but packs are weighted one way or another depending on what trainer it is. So, if you get a pack from a lightning person like Nicholas, the Pokemon, the rare card inside the pack is more likely to be, oh my,
asking you shall receive. I've never had that happen to me on Nicholas. I've never had Nicholas spawn 2 straight Duck Trio. That is exceedingly rare.
I have no words for the good luck that is. So I was saying that you had a much higher chance for getting an electric Pokemon out of that pack. However, we got 2 Doug Trios back to back, which is unbelievable. This means that the end game deck is already basically sorted. We have no worries about that. Now the last Pokemon we'll be looking for is actually an Articuno from Evolution Packs, I believe, or was it?
I think no, it's a Mystery. I believe
it's Mystery. Okay, yeah. So we'll be looking for Articuno, but it's not the end of the world if we miss Articuno. It's just extra safe. So now that we're at our first gym battle, club leader battle, you can all groove in the chat. That's good. The shocking thing about this game, and something that no one ever tells you, is the club battle leaders, the Elite Four, and Ronald.
That is going to be that's a reset.
All of those fights are cheats, and let me explain how they cheat to you. So, in their opening hand, they are guaranteed to have 2 basic Pokemon and 2 energy, and then they are guaranteed to have another 2 in the following 6 cards at the top of their deck. This means that most gym leader fights, or club leader fights, are 4 prizes, incredibly slow, and the biggest time losses of the run. But because they're always like that, we get extra surprised when we get a 2-turn win, 3-turn win, just when they only have 2 Pokemon out. And there are very, very rare and niche situations where you actually get a first-turn win. But those are incredibly rare, and if we ever get it, then it's just...
This has not been a very, very good Isaac.
No, Isaac's being mean.
Very, very
That's
mean.
for sure.
And normally, a lot of runners like to opt into Isaac much later using Diglets and Duck Trios, mainly because it avoids having to deal with potentially getting KO'd, but Hitmonchan is potentially faster, but it's just been really unlucky with the coin flips.
Yeah. So, Isaac has a lot of Pokemon, namely Magnemite and Electabuzz, which like to paralyze you. Now, paralysis means if you see that Pikachu head, that's heads, we cannot do anything, we can't attack next turn. Now, this can be stopped with full heal, or if you have a Pokemon on the bench and you use a switch, you could swap to it and then swap back to continue to attack. However, this is the weakness of having only Hitmonchan at the beginning of the game. The weakness is that it's much harder to switch the Hitmonchans around because you don't have as many of them, and you don't have as much access to full heals and switches early on. Luckily, we've got a Kangaskhan here, which is slow, but thankfully didn't put any energy on it, so that's good for us.
And we have potions and a computer search, so they should be the one to win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you get paralyzed here, you can show off RNG manipulation. So you can soft reset here and just use a computer search to pull RNG, or you can just keep fighting it.
Yeah, we'll just opt into the full heal because I just want to get out of this Isaac fight.
That's fair. So what I was mentioning there is that you could use the computer search to manipulate the RNG. So one option you have when you're faced with the paralysis is that you can reset the game, continue the duel, and then you will be back to your turn. At that point, the RNG is still the same as before, and the coin flip will still be a heads. However, if you use a coin flip or a deck shuffle effect, like computer search or Pokeball, then that next coin flip will be called to the next point in RNG, and maybe it's a tails, maybe it's a heads. It's still a 50-50, but it's one more way to avoid paralysis.
with it. Now that we got this nightmare out of the way, the run, I would say the run can sort of start to take shape now.
So one thing you've been noticing with Michael and Chris is that these are sort of really out the way weird fights, and Jessica as well. So the fighting leader sent his disciples out to various clubs for you to go and find out. Fight them, and then you can go back and fight him. We won't be fighting him for a long time, even though this is the final disciple here. Chris.
We don't have any healing, so we are not winning this one.
So
Chris is essentially a mini Michael, where he has a lot of potentially dangerous Pokemon, but I think now this is a 2-Hitmon chance. And
this looks favorable. This is favorable because we have 2 Hitmonchans, and that's honestly really good. Even if the first one gets knocked out, the other one's got backup, and also, frankly, Hitmonchan against Hitmonchan, we win those most of the time. Even with the Mankey in the back, it's 100% okay. There's a lot of things the AI in this game does a bit strange, but we can exploit very well. So there, obviously it didn't know we had the 3rd energy to knock out that Hitmonchan, so it would keep putting energy on. But there's a lot of little cases like that where we can just exploit them using 1 more energy to just get 1 more card out of their hand so they have less ammunition to use against us later. And now, oh my days. Now here's the second hardest fight in the entire game.
Right. So
and it's time to say hello to Charmander.
Yes.
Charmander and...
So...
Is it just Charmander?
Yes. So this fight, Amanda is very tough because her ace, being a Water Club member, is obviously Scyther. And her second ace is obviously Wigglytuff. So, 2 cards that you would think obviously befitting that of a Water trainer. And the reason why we mix in Charmander with Hitmonchan is that it basically covers our bases for the most part as far as whether or not we'll be able to get a favorable matchup. That was not a favorable matchup, but I think we can still figure out if we can draw something good. Get a potion, so...
A potion's perfect, yeah, there you go. So yeah, Amanda's a nightmare because she has the combination of our 2 favorite types being resisted. Our favorite types are fire and fighting at this point in time. Because it's just the best cards we have access to. However, Scyther, while it resists fighting, is weak to fire, but fire suffers from nearly everything else in Amanda's deck, and it's just an absolute misery for us to deal with. Now we're just kind of...
We're just gonna pray to see if whether or not she breaks.
She won't break, but that Aerodactyl is something you don't see very often, I'm not gonna lie.
No, this is a reset. She's
Oops. So the point behind Amanda's deck, why it's very, very annoying, is there's a very famous card in early TCG, the Wigglytuff, with its move Do the Wave, and Do the Wave does damage according to how much you have on your bench. Well, what you have on your bench is a lot of fossils and Clefairy dolls, and she abuses this to the absolute maximum here, and she's already got a Wigglytuff out, but luckily we have a Hitmonchan, so even though we'll be likely losing this Charmander, we should be able to knock out the Wigglytuff behind. Oh my...
Ooh, wow.
No, that's a reset. You've got a Scyther against you and you're losing Charmander,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. This is why Amanda is the second hardest fight in the game. She's a nightmare. She is a nightmare. And, I mean, the trifecta of early game resets are Michael, Amanda, and Jessica, which is the very first fight. Jessica is, like, the most annoying... not difficult fight at the beginning of the game. So that's the first one we do for the most part. Certainly in Bulbasaur runs, you go to Jessica first because it's most optimal, and it's the quickest to reset if everything goes wrong. Meanwhile, Amanda and Michael are the absolute showstoppers, as it were. And in this case, Amanda is just being plain old mean.
Okay, I got 2 Charmanders and we're going up against a Scyther. This has to be it. Come on. RNG, don't fail me now.
Yeah. So that's one fossil. We're just praying for just not Poliwag on the bench. Even Poliwag's fine. Oh, double Scyther? That's good.
Now, the fortunate part of fighting Amanda is that she only requires 3 Pokemon to be knocked out in order to win. So it's not impossible sometimes, but it is very annoying.
So, I mentioned earlier that Michael was one half of Haymaker. It's almost like Amanda is the second spiritual successor to Haymaker here. Unfortunately, we can't pick up prizes off knocking out fossils, because otherwise this fight would be infinitely easier, but that's just not the case. So now we just have to get rid of this last Jigglypuff and then we're good.
Oh wow, we actually...
Yeah. We live.
Yeah, we live.
We live, chat.
So Amanda added a 3rd energy to Jigglypuff, and normally it's not always the case, but usually that's an indication that the AI has the evolution card, but we just got really lucky that she did not have the Wake Tough in.
So in that case, because Jigglypuff was her last legal Pokemon in quotes, that's why she put the energy on Jigglypuff, because when they've only got one more active Pokemon left, and Fossils and Clefairy don't count, they go into what I like to call desperation mode, where they will play literally as much as they can, even if it doesn't change anything. This means like adding energy to Mankey when it's already got one, adding an extra energy to Jigglypuff, like in this case. It's just to slow you down that little bit more before you keep going. So now we're going to a totally different situation. It's time for the return of the red, blue, yellow era of Nidoran male dominance, except we're just not going to see Nidoking.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. Oh. Yeah, the things we don't want to see in Gene. Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn has basically the same thing. It's basically paralysis, but not. It's a slightly different version. Now, there's a few ways of getting rid of it. Oh, perfect. That's amazing. So, Nidoran Male has what we call the TAS-favored attack. It does 30 damage, but you have to win a coin flip for it. Unfortunately, we did not win the coin flip there, so we're just going to evolve and pray that one of these two are heads.
And they both hit. So if you noticed right before I reset, that coin flip went tails. And normally that's a fixed coin flip. It's always gonna stay tails. However, because we use computer search in a shuffle the deck, that essentially advanced the RNG by 1 frame, which completely randomizes the coin flip.
So I see one person has said, how come you're not paying for Scyther for this badge? So there's some people do use Scyther. Nidorino is more risky, but has higher upside. It can go faster. It's not safer though, because it does not resist. But the main reason we don't use Scyther here is we haven't pulled a Scyther. I don't think.
That was my big.
No,
I thought Nidoran was a... I don't know why I thought Nidoran was a free retreat, but either way, Scyther is very good in this fight. It's considered the safe option, but the problem is, if you run into multiple Rhyhorns, then it starts to slow down because Scyther, without help, requires multiple turns to take it out. And the RNG with Gene and that Rhyhorn is honestly a little weighted in its favor. So we want to have the potential to take it out in one go.
Yeah. So now we're going to have the first of many rival fights. Many, and by many I mean 3. You saw Ronald at the beginning of the game, just as we went to our first club, but here he is. I like to believe that this is Ronald McDonald before he opened up a fast food chain, and he was so traumatized by this event, the events of this game, that he opened up a fast food chain. Oh, that's very unfortunate. You can... Will he attack the fossil?
He should attack. Does he not know how to attack? There we go. Oh, because it requires fighting energy.
Right, okay, there we go. So, we do want to lose to Ronald, because it's because trying to beat him is just a waste of time. Even though we would get, I believe it's a Jigglypuff the first time round, a Mew? Or no, wait, it's the Super Energy Retriever the second time round. But it takes so long that we just decide to use Magnemites instead. Sadly, we didn't see Magnemite here. We went for the higher risk play of using Mysterious Fossil and hoping to get knocked out in the first turn. Magnemite is the backup option for that, and I'm sure we'll be seeing Magnemite later in the game when we get to the next rival fight. So now we come to the water section, and this is why we brought in our good old friend Electabuzz, who, well, you know how annoying it was for Isaac having it? Well, now we get to use it. So it's now our revenge time.
Now we say Stary is the easiest fight in the game because she literally only requires 2 energy to win. I'm sorry, 2 prizes to win. And you will almost certainly win. If you have an Electabuzz, you will almost certainly win anywhere from 2 to 3 turns, like, this is a rough estimate, like 75% of the time.
You usually win on the third turn. Because the first turn you generally don't take them. It's usually 3 turns, maximum. Now, there's 3 Pokemon we don't want to see here. The first is a pair that basically do the same thing, which is Horsea and Squirtle. Squirtle because it paralyzes, and yes, because Squirtle paralyzes. Don't ask too many questions here. And Horsea because it uses Smokescreen, which is paralyze at home, I guess. But the other big one we don't want to see is Lapras, because Lapras is genuinely quite terrifying in this game. It's got 80 base HP, so Electabuzz only one-shots it if it has 2 energy and wins a coin flip, which is not great. And it also, on top of that, has the chance to confuse you, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it's one of the more tricky. It's one of the more tricky things to work around. Fortunately, we're seeing.
There we go.
Yeah.
So here's a fun little workaround to Smokescreen is that if you are able to switch out, and for example, you have a Mysterious Fossil, you can switch into Mysterious Fossil. You take out the Mysterious Fossil and bring back the Electabuzz, and you get out of Smokescreen.
This works for any Pokemon, but switching out and switching back in again negates the effects of Smokescreen, it negates the effects of Leer on Rhyhorn, and it negates the effects of Paralysis if you specifically use the Switch Trainer card. It does not, however, stop EVs or Chanseys that we may... Wait, does it stop EVs?
Yes, it does stop EV.
It does stop it. It doesn't stop Chanseys, though. That's right. Because Chansey is a I take no damage effect, whereas Eevee and Horsea are you deal no damage effects. Because, you know, we needed that extra confusion early in the game. Alright, so we're on to Amy. Again, Amy shouldn't be too bad. It's very much like Isaac is in that you're just praying that we don't get paralyzed like what just happened here.
Luckily, we have a full heal, so I'm not really concerned. Plus, we have a computer search, which is where if I didn't have the full heal, this is where computer search comes in clutch.
The thing is with computer search, at worst you just find another full heal. At best, you return the play, negate that first paralysis, and then fetch a full heal just in case another paralysis happens. So computer search pulls double duty sometimes. And there we go, the third medal, because it's not badges, because that's...
but badges sound so cool.
Badges sound so cool, but they're medals. They're shinier, and they're more coin-like. Just to bring up to speed on the coin flips, so yes, you can, to some extent, manipulate coin flips, because, as mentioned earlier, the RNG, while you cannot see the overworld, the RNG is frozen in time, which means while you're in any duel, the RNG is frozen until it is called upon. So a coin flip will move the RNG by 1 increment, and computer search effects will shuffle the deck and do it by a whole lot more increments. So yes, you can So yes, you can manipulate it, because also, while it is their turn and not yours, you can reset, continue duel, and it will return you to the last action before their turn, in which case usually it's an attack. So you can bring the game backwards, change the RNG, and then continue forwards and hope that you don't get a negative coin flip for you. So now it's time for Dugtrio to shine. How many do you have? 3 of them then?
Yes, we have 3 Dugtrio, which is perfect for this fight because we didn't draw a single Diglett or Dugtrio, so this is awesome.
Yeah. Oh boy. So naturally, the Fire Club, known for its fire Pokemon such as Jirachi and Kangaskhan and Jigglypuff.
Oh my lord!
And Scrunch and Scrunch and Scrunch. So yeah, Ken. I swear Ken has fire Pokemon somewhere in his deck. I think it's Magmar and Growlithe and Arcanine, but he also has Jigglypuffs, Chanseys, and Kangaskhan's. Because.
And after this fight, we're essentially going to be fighting the Husson deck of Ken, which is Murray, which is essentially the same type of deck, except switch up the fire-type Pokemon with like a low amount of
psychic.
low amount of psychic. Thank you.
Except the difference between Murray and Murray, which is the psychic leader, and just Ken here, is that the fire Pokemon prove no problem really to us. However, the psychic Pokemon are among the most annoying in the game, including Mr. Mime. Q keys are on. No, wait, that's Jinx. Sorry, no, it's the wrong one. Forget him. But Mr. Mime is the most annoying thing in the world because it limits the damage it takes to 20. If you do more damage than 20, you deal no damage. This means a Dugtrio cannot physically hurt a Mr. Mime. This is an incredibly annoying part of that fight, and part of the reason why a lot of the time you don't tend to evolve your Diglets to Dugtrios unless you see no Mr. Mimes or the second one is knocked out. And that's just the Mr. Mimes. If the other half of the Psychics is Abracadabra and Alakazam. And if he ever evolves to Alakazam, the game is just over. Because generally Alakazam moves the damage around his team such that you can never knock out anything. And if he ever assembles Alakazam, you just have to insta reset. I don't think maybe I've beaten an Alakazam once, but it's so rare to beat an Alakazam. Anyway, thankfully we're past Ken, and now it's time for Murray. And yeah, a lot of casual players also hate this fight because it's just the worst. It's easily the worst club leader, hands down. I can't think of anyone that's worse than him.
I mean, you can argue maybe Mitch, just because of how high-powered his Pokemon can be, but there are easy ways to get around it if you really want to.
Yeah, Mitch is different in that he plays fair. Mitch plays fair in that he has only fighting types in his deck. Even though they're the best fighting types around, with the exception of Mankey, he keeps just fighting types in his deck. And he plays a very honest game. Which means it's a lot more down to your deck building rather than praying that no Alakazam exists. So here we are. Here is the notorious Mime. Luckily, Hitmonchan is able to take it down here, which is good because just as well. One thing that we sometimes do, and I know I do, if I'm running a Charmander run, and Hitmonchans aren't exactly a luxury the Charmander run has, you sometimes put in some Rattatas, because Rattata is the cleanest answer to Mr. Mime in the game. It resists Psychic, and it does 20 damage, and Mr. Mime can't do anything about it. Abro can also do nothing about it, luckily. So, hey, if you ever thought Rattata was useless, it's useful here, sometimes.
That we got out of Murray actually relatively painless.
Nice.
Four prize Murray is kind of the best you can get most of the time. That, frankly, even though it looked close, that's just excellent. We're done with Murray, which is excellent. And now we get to have the second round of the rival, Ronald. Just for the final fight, we're sandbagging again because we're very honorable players, and bringing in the Magnemites for this fight.
Now, the interesting thing about Ronald, especially in the second fight, is if you try to go for the Magnemite strat, and you have anything, and you put in a non-lightning energy on it, he typically, well, here's the thing. If you put a lightning energy on it, he will try to remove it, but if you happen to put in a non-lightning energy, the AI thinks it's no big deal and outright doesn't do anything with it. So, unfortunately, we didn't draw a non-lightning, but that could have saved us like 5 seconds.
Yeah. So one thing some people do, and I know I do it these days, is some people make a second deck with only Magnemite, only lightning energy, and only water energy in a 50-50 split, so you can get that option. And here we are, in fact, picking up the promo Mewtwo, because promo Mewtwo is cool.
We are only going to use him for one fight, and it's Mitch. And this is a risky strat, not super risky, but everything hinges on whether or not we go first and what our opening hand is. So at the very least, if we have to reset, then we'll, at the very least, have a good idea. We'll at least don't have to spend an eternity trying to do anything about it.
So Mewtwo gets better the better your deck is. And how I mean that is the more item finders, computer searchers, and Professor Oaks you have in your deck, the better Mewtwo gets. Because Mewtwo has a very funky first attack in that you can attach 2 energy cards from your discard pile to Mewtwo. Now, the only way to do that is with those 3 aforementioned cards, in which case Tornite here used Professor Oak to dump 3 energy in the graveyard, in the discard pile. Sorry, I played too much Magic recently. And he instantly gets the 3 energy and can attack on turn 2, which is perfect. It's just perfect against Mitch, because Mitch can't do anything about 3 energy Mewtwo, providing he doesn't draw Machops and Hitmonchan, which can do damage on a single energy. But that's a nice quick Mitch, and we've got 2 more medals to go.
And our next one is going to be the... Actually, this is... I love the naming for this. The Science Club. We're going to fight the Science Master, which it's absurdly hilarious, in my opinion. There's so few types in here. There's so few types in this game that you have to make up stuff just to justify 8 club masters.
So this is basically Grass Part 2, except this time it's weak to Psychic. These Science basically means Psychic Pokemon and Grimer and Coughing, because Poison is very scientific. Yes.
Okay, we got a heads there, so we are guaranteed a heads, meaning we'll get a Kadabra, which is going to be the reason we're going to be winning this fight, in all honesty. Oh, and we still got a head to Paralyze Mewtwo, so it didn't matter.
That's very nice, yeah. So this is a very good example of coin flip manipulation. We knew we were getting our heads, so we can, instead of spending it to paralyze the Mewtwo, which is kind of doing nothing, we can spend it on getting the coin flip heads on Pokemon, which means we can search, which is excellent. It means we guarantee the search, we guarantee the Kadabra, and Kadabra just absolutely normally does really well in this fight. However, Weezing does introduce some interesting... I think... what are you looking for?
We're going to go...
Oh, you're going to Gust.
We're going to Gust into it and just get rid of it. I'd much rather... The cool thing is we have a full heal, so even if Grimer paralyzes us, it's not going to matter because we have a full heal.
So the reason we were worried there about Weezing is Weezing has a 50-50 chance, well, 100% chance to inflict something annoying to you. Half the time it's paralysis, no, confusion, and the other half is poison. Both of which are pretty bad. Poison just means we're on a very strict clock, and confusion means there's a lot of coin flips and none of them are good. So anyway, that's that done. With the science, and now we're finally on to the other grass energy gym leader. After one final fight with one of the most irritating grass members of all, with her deck, Kaleidoscope, because it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, it's etc.
Yeah, she is arguably the most annoying fight in the game, because she has, as a grass type gym leader, she has a Magmar, she has a Jinx, she has a Machop, she has a Ghastly. By the way, this is a grass type trainer. She has a Pikachu and a Diglett.
Yep.
So all normal things that grass type. We have a Pokeball, so there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Using the power of Coin Flip Pokeball once more to guarantee a Kadabra, which is basically does damage as opposed to doing absolutely no damage like Abra does. The one weakness of this Kristen's deck is that it can sometimes have energy issues, like it is here, because she has a lot of grass energy in this deck, and not many others, so sometimes these Pokemon can't attack at their full potential. However, they are still incredibly numerous, incredibly annoying, very coin flippy, and you usually take all four prizes here, just because it's a nightmare, really. On Charmander routes, you face her really early, and it's the worst. Fighting this without Abracadabra is it's not as easy. It's so much more RNG, and it's a bit of a miserable time altogether. And she's proving why it's such a miserable time right now. Luckily, we've finally done with her, and we can move on to Nikki, which is a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, so we have actually one more fight before we get to the grass leader. And this is where we're going to be taking our Kadabras, which served us amazingly. All the psychic types in this run have served us tremendously. So we're going to be adding in Ponyta and Magmar. You can use Charmander for these next couple of fights, but I like the high damage potential that these two have, as well as the not having to sacrifice energy every time we do our high damage attack.
So the benefits of Charmander is Charmander has higher health than Ponyta, and can evolve to Charmeleon, and this is just a good thing to have in the Charmander route, because you've already got the cards there. But if you can have a more focused deck, Ponyta and Magmar are much better, because they don't, like Toro said, they don't discard energy in order to play their cards. Ponyta has a very good deal of 30 damage for 2 energy, which is a very, very good rate. Yeah, no, 30 damage for 2 energy is great, because you can knock out Glooms in one shot, even though they're normally a nightmare.
I will be making a minor deck edit with this, because I completely forgot to add in double colorless energy for Ponyta.
I didn't want to say it, because that would have thrown you a bit.
Please call me out if I make a misplay like that. Rog, you know me better than that. I should not be doing that kind of rookie mistake.
Oh no, it happens, and it's not that big of a deal, because you can use double colors for Ponyta, which means you can do 20 damage instantly. However, the downside is you need 2 more turns to get to the 30 damage thing, and it's just it matters against Gloom, it matters against Oddish, Tangela, Execute. In fact, a lot of things. So while Ponyta attacking earlier is good sometimes, it's sometimes not optimal. Oh dear. And you thought we were done with statuses? We're not. We're never done with statuses. So Oddish is Paralyze and executes
Oh, for crying out
You just
loud.
need half the time. Yeah, this is crazy. I'll be back in just 1 second. Right, eggs. You know, actually evolving to Executor is surprisingly, hilariously fine. Because Executor, instead of being able to hypnotize you, it deals damage equal to the number of heads it gets. But it can only flip coins equal to the amount of energy it has. When it's 1 energy, it's not a lot of damage. Like our Ponyta.
Someone is asking, how do I skip for the text so fast? Just blowing through, mashing A and B with each finger on each button constantly for an hour. Don't ask me how I don't have arthritis on my fingers yet, but I don't, thankfully.
Or any of us for that matter. You also, in the config menu, in your like start menu in the overworld, there's a config menu. You can change that. The text speed from 1 to 5, and I think the default is 3 or 2 or 3.
I believe I think it goes all the way to 5. Alrighty then. This has been one very interesting run so far, but overall, we're now heading into the dome, and this is where this could be problematic, this first fight. Not because of it's hard, but because the opening, the cutscene, or whatever you want to call it, takes a long time. So any reset means that we have to go sit for this again. So there are a number of different options we can go for. We can go for Seal, we can do Dugong. We have the most amount of Seals and Dugongs combined, so that is what we are combining. And this is essentially this game's version of the Elite Four. Because now each member is going to have the quote-unquote legendary card of their namesake. So we have Rod, Courtney, Steve, and Jack. It's going to be the order of Courtney, Steve, Jack, Rod, and then the champion. Now you see her legendary Moltres game. Now these 4 cards, I believe, have never been used, are cards that can't actually be used in the real-life TCG because they introduce an element of randomness, at least the Moltres and the Zapdos. And we saw the Moltres there, and what that Moltres does is every time it's played, the player gets anywhere from 1 to 4 energy combined. And that could be very problematic because she will have constant resources with her with being able to attack. But Dugong essentially 2-shots everything 1 to 2 attacks because of it's just unbelievably good.
So yeah, Dugong is one thing we can use here. The other one is Magikarp and Gyarados. Sometimes you can use that. In order to use Magikarp and Gyarados, you need to have a lot of Magikarps, not Gyarados, funnily enough. It is in fact more common to have 4 Gyaradoses at this point than 4 Magikarps, just because of how the packs give their cards. And Magikarp's super rare, even though it's an uncommon, and Gyarados is a rare, but it's you often end up with having 4 or more of them at this point in the run. The other option we sometimes use, and some people manipulate for, with the male manips that we did at the beginning of the run, some people delay that for later, and then manipulate for an Articuno, because Articuno it's just very good at what it does. The good thing about Articuno is it's a base Pokemon. You're guaranteed to have it. You don't need to look for an evolution. The downside is that a lot more coin flips are involved. So this game has a lot of different strats that you can use, and people tweak and tailor their strats to their own needs. And this is the joy of the game. Everyone has their own little tweaks in the run. Some people prefer some cards over the others. Like I really, really like the card called Gambler, which is high risk, high reward, and it has paid off sometimes, and it doesn't pay off other times. And yeah, the joy of the run is there's just so much to enjoy in the run. Card choice is one of them.
Now, here comes arguably the hardest fight, or maybe not hardest, most frustrating fight in the entire game, because Steve has a Zapdos, and we're using Diglett and Dugtrio, and the only way to damage the Diglett is through a Dugtrio, which we thankfully have. Oh, that's an auto reset.
Okay. No. Oh, I would have...
Yeah, no, I just realized, yeah. But...
Yeah. So, one thing that can happen is you might have seen there was only one active Pokemon on their side. If there's only one active Pokemon, that means they're holding one of the legendary birds in hand. Zapdos is by far the most annoying in that it can KO on Diglett by just landing on the bench, because it deals 30 damage to a random Pokemon not named Zapdos on the field. However, it is due to coding, I'm just going to say coding because the actual math behind it is confusing to say the least, there is a much higher chance for our side to be hit than theirs. Yes, they can hit their own Pokemon, but it's unlikely. And, yeah. If you're... Zapdos is just... If you were using a New Game Plus run, where you're allowed 4 copies of any card with everything, Zapdos... Legendary Zapdos is the most busted card in the game by miles because of that 30 damage thing, but also it just does 70 damage ignoring resistances, which takes out pretty much anything in the game. It's just the most busted card by miles. Now we come to arguably the actual hardest fight, not necessarily annoying, of the game, and this is Jack. Jack... We have many words for Jack. None of them should be uttered on this stream. Articuno is the least of our worries. Our big worry is the Lapras. Now, Lapras... Let's see. Lapras. It's so dangerous for a Lapras to be against Diglett, because poor little Diglett only has 30 health, and Lapras can deal 30 damage in 2 turns, unless you disrupt them with energy removal. Yeah, Jack's a nightmare. Evolve
this is quite a...
this is an evolve. You just evolve and pray. Yeah. Oak and pray, yeah. Yeah, and now...
There were a lot of good trainers that we missed out on.
Yeah, and this is the other risk of Lapras is, if it's kept alive, it can... Okay, now here we're gonna have to use some funky...
Let's see if this works. Okay. We're gonna try something a little bit funky, but the hope is that Diglett will essentially be our sacrificial lamb, and I will be able to use that time to set up the trio and just outright take out everything.
Yeah, Lapras... The problem there that we had was Dugtrio had taken a confusion hit, which is the most irritating one to get rid of. Oh my goodness. It's easily the most irritating status to get rid of, because you coin flip when you attack, you coin flip when you try to switch, and if you fail the attack coin flip, then you take 30 damage, which is a lot, and this is...
Oh my god.
This is one of the more nightmarish Jacks that I've seen in a long time. Like...
I think this is a...
I think reset's gonna be faster than...
Yeah. I mean, okay, I don't want to say there was no win condition there, but it would have been a very lengthy win condition. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Anything? Let's see. What?
That's a reset. Yeah. So one thing you can do is if you hold down A and B while the coin is in the air, you can press start and select it once it's shown what face it is, and then that will reset you to before the coin flip. If you don't hold down A and B beforehand, you will press A to continue past the coin flip, and at that point, the coin flip is considered to have resolved, which is annoying. The other thing you can do is, and in rare cases you will, if you put your energy on the wrong Pokemon for whatever reason, as long as you don't press A past it, you can do a hard reset by turning the console on and off again, and the energy will not have considered to be put on. This is useful in some situations where you've messed up and you don't want to admit you're a bad runner. Me, I've done that so many times. But there's a lot of things you can do. There's just so much you can do in this game. One thing we're hopefully not going to see in this run, because we've got so many Doug Trios, is prize manipulation, which sounds weird. If you knock out a Pokemon, you pick a prize. Because the prizes are fixed, you can choose a different prize every time you knock out, if you're looking for one specific card. This sometimes happens when you've got a single Doug Trio because you've been unlucky, and you just need that Doug Trio in order to win the fight. So you'll knock out a Pokemon, see if it's Doug Trio. If not, reset, go back, go for another. And there's other situations like that too. But there's a lot of ways of just playing around with the game and trying to get the favorable result. Good lord. This is... Jack's just being mean today on the highest level.
Jack is one of the worst fights in the game, to be perfectly honest.
Easily.
I mean, I think he is the worst. Normally I thought it was maybe Steve, but no, it's this one. Actually, no. Ditto is not going to be an issue, so we should focus on the Articuno.
Yeah. So just to answer the question, and to reiterate this, while you are in a duel, the RNG is in quotes frozen, so it won't be advancing. It won't be advancing through the numbers. So every time you hit a coin flip, it will be the same coin flip until, even if you rewind time, until you hit another condition for the RNG to change, like flipping a different coin, or computer searching, like searching through your deck to find something else. The same can be true if the opponent does those things in a different order, which is rare, but can happen. If you see a coin flip, it's going to be the same thing unless you rewind time and do something different.
So Rod is supposed to be this game's version of Lance, but as you'll learn, hopefully, Rod is not a good TCG player, like at all, because he has very poor deck building skills. His legendary card, quote unquote, is Dragonite that he will almost never get a chance to actually pull out because he doesn't know how to actually play the game.
Yeah, so Dragonite has a very low chance of ever hitting the field because, well, there's a lot of reasons, but the first is you need to evolve to Dragonair and then to Dragonite. He needs to have all three cards turn up in his deck. Speaking of Dragonair, there is a Dragonair.
That's going to be an issue.
That is going to be an issue. Dragonair is going to be an issue, but not as much of an issue as the...
He heard me talking smack about his dragon. Alright, that's... Let's see if we can...
Reset.
Yeah. Let's see if we can... Let's first... So,
like we said earlier, we know the next coin is Tails. So there's a few things we can do. We can look for... We're definitely going to look for We're definitely going to look for...
Full heal.
A full heal. There you go. That's what you want. Full heal. We were looking for a full heal or a coin flip mechanism like a Pokeball or a computer search in order to avoid that situation. Okay, I think you're in a favorable position now.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but this is certainly a winnable.
It's finishable.
It's winnable.
Yeah.
Dragonair is just very annoying because not only does she have an attack that can do as much as 60 damage, she has a secondary attack that it doesn't do much, but it does remove one of our energy cards, which in a situation where we might be running a little bit low on that, it starts to become an issue. And that's where Dragonair can strike large.
Yeah, Dragonair, hopefully you don't see it, and often you don't, but it tends to turn up when they lead with a Kangaskhan, because Kangaskhan's attack just draws a card, which means they have more chances to hit the Dragonair. If they hit the Dragonair, it's miserable, but at least we got through it, and now we have the silliest deck build of the entire game. So, Ronald decided he's such a big brain person that he's going to put all the legendary birds and Dragonite into his deck, and then put only Fire Energy into the deck. His genius is beyond comprehension, really, because Ronald here can only use one of the 3 legendary birds, basically never sees Dragonite, because Dragonair never turns up, and just resorts to an Eevee battle. Eevees are annoying, and I have nearly lost to Eevees, and lost to Eevees in such situations, but thankfully, this isn't the situation at the moment, and now we just pray, oh my good...
There we go. I mean,
okay,
I decided to add a little bit of drama. I mean, I had a Dictrio this entire time, which would have eliminated killed the drama, but we will take a... That was actually a really fast Ronald.
That's a really fast Ronald. The thing is, we didn't see any of the legendary birds on Ronald, so we didn't have to fight through the 30 resistance birds. But now we're basically at the end of the run, so time is coming up in very short time. Once we see the end of these Pokemon, I will call it. Well, no, I'll let you call it, Taro.
Yeah, the funny thing is that with Ronald is that he can just be really unfair to the point that he just overextends and just decides to show off, almost to his detriment, which is just the absolute worst. And time's gonna be called now.
GG.
All right.
Good run.
Not the best run. We had such an unfortunate few fights. The fight with Jessica and Nisek was uncharacteristically bad, just because of just the timely coin flips, which, I mean, on an all Hitmonchan deck, or with just 2 or 3 Hitmonchan, it's a little risky, but overall, there were some pretty decent fights in the early part, and I'm just glad we came here within the estimate. I think I think that was my goal, and to get the Hitmonchan manipulation within 3 tries, and we got it on the 2nd try. I'm not kidding when I say this. I think I've practiced the manipulation over 300 times, and I have an Excel spreadsheet that basically pointed out every single instance where I hit the manipulation, I missed it, how ahead, how behind it was. It was just a lot of prep work comes into doing these types of runs because of how RNG heavy it is. But it's a lot of fun because this invites a lot of creativity to experiment and see what works, what doesn't. That's why it's I say no 2 speedruns of this game are ever the same, just because of how unique the RNG acts and just how everything just sort of operates.
And just so people wondering if you want to run this or not, do not be afraid by this whole mail manipulation, coin flip manipulation. It all comes naturally with time, and at least Taro's Hitmonchan manipulation is one of the more advanced ones I've ever seen, because it takes a point which is not... it takes a point which is unusual, and goes from there.
And
there are
not only that,
much easier.
And one other thing is that, again, you don't need to mail manipulate to get a good time. My PB, which is 9th fastest of 56, didn't use mail manipulation once. So it just comes with practice and a lot of patience, and you'll find that even on quote unquote bad runs, you'll have a lot of fun. Just because the game itself is incredibly fun, and I'm glad to be sharing this. And on almost the 25th anniversary, in about like 6 weeks or so, 6-7 weeks, is the 25th anniversary of the Japanese release of this game. And for anyone curious, this game is you can run this game on the Nintendo Switch because they recently put this on Nintendo Switch Online. So if you have a Nintendo Switch Online, you can jump straight into it, no problem.
Yeah, it's through the Game Boy Player, and it's 100% free. Well, 100% free if you've got the Switch online. Just the base online. You don't need the bonus online version with the Nintendo 64. You just need the base online Switch subscription, and you get this for free, as well as many other games. But this, if you wanted to run it tomorrow, you can, or tonight. You know, it's there, available, and you can come on over to the Discord. We'll be more than happy to help anyone that wants to run this game. We're plenty knowledgeable, and even though I spoke a lot of drivel today, don't worry, we can make it easier than that.
Yeah. and overall, I would say the community is, even though it's a little bit niche, it's a little bit small, but we are all very passionate about the game, and we more than welcome anybody who wants to join in. It's a really nice game to sort of start speedrunning. As RNG heavy as it is, it's not something that's going to require like a lot of knowledge of how RNG manipulation works. I started the game not knowing anything of that, and I got a 130 or something, and through months of practice, I'm now at the sub-hour club, which is the cool kids club, and also a testament that anybody can do well. If I can get a sub-hour and land in a top 10, anyone can, and I think that's the beauty of this game.
And one last thing is, I see someone in chat ask for the sequel. Yes, there are speedruns available for the sequel. However, the sequel is a miserable game compared to this one for multiple reasons. The main one is it's so much harder than this one. It's just every deck you fight against is a lot tougher, a lot more optimized than TCG1 ones are. It's twice as long as this run, unless you use more extensive manipulation. It's an experience. I've done it once. I'm not going back soon, but I've done it.
I've heard that the difficulty spike is dramatically higher than in this one, and it's one that I dare not try. So I'm just going to avoid it. If I ever play it, it's going to be a casual one. Also, it's a little bit hard to sort of get by as far as conventional methods, because this game was only came out in Japan, and it required a fan translation patch just to make it actually playable for us English speakers.
Yeah, it's a lot of work has been done for that, and it's available and whatnot, but it's a rare gem of a game that is incredibly difficult, which is why everyone runs the first version, because it's faster, it's in English, and it's just a lot more fun. It's just infinitely more fun, I can tell you that.
Awesome. Well, you two, thank you so much. I know you talked a lot about the run and various different games as well. And if I've completely missed it, then that's just me zoning out. But a chance to do a little bit of promo of yourselves. Where can people find you?
You can find me. On Twitch, I'm streaming as my name says. I think just Toronite. I run pretty exclusively just Pokemon TCG, although I'm probably going to branch into other types of speedruns now that I've hit the goal of being in the top 10 of this game. And I have a YouTube channel where, I'll do some nice, some good little side content related to TCG and some other stuff, which is also the same name. But yeah, you can find me on Twitch just streaming this game. Much better than today. But overall, it was a lot of fun today.
There'll be a lot more resets as well. That's for sure. And you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ragnarok. I will be certainly picking this game back up again now that I've got a bit more time on my hands and whatnot. And I'll be pushing to get sub 55 minutes now that Toronite bumped me down a place. Now I'm coming back for the revenge run. I've gotten to the sub-hour club, now I'm getting sub 55 because that was my old goal. And I burnt out a little bit, so now I'm feeling refreshed, and with fresh competition, I'm going for that 55. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. I might also be streaming to YouTube as well, depending on other stuff, but I will definitely be streaming on Twitch. That's for sure.
Nice, awesome. Well, once again, you two, thank you so much. I'm really glad that you got to show that off, and yeah. show off something a little bit different. We're having little shades of completely different game genres throughout the show, which is good fun. Bulbasaur there as well. I got that right?
Yeah.
That is Bulbasaur.
Yeah, you got it right.
The one thing I know about Pokemon. Let's go. Awesome. So we've gone from Pinball to the trading card game, and then we're going to be finishing up with Pokemon Snap. I'm going to find out from the runner what the best way to pronounce his name is, but Quo, I believe, is probably how you say it. He's going to be with us just after this break to show us the last run of this Pokemon theme Going Places. Folks, do stick with us. We're going to have a little break. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves whilst we've got these little 5 to 10 minutes to set up the next run, and then, yeah, more hotfix action coming for you tonight. We'll see you in a sec, folks. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix and just the Games Done Quick channel in general. I hope you are having a lovely morning, evening, afternoon, wherever this stream or this video is finding you. If you are finding us on a video on YouTube, then be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see the action as it's happening live, you are more than welcome to join us on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick to see the content happening live. This is Going Places, the Games Done Quick hotfix, where we go around the speedrun landscape. We have a look at the games that we can take on the go on our travels on handheld consoles, as well as the games that we might have to travel far for, or somewhere that's, you know, something that's common to us, but maybe not common to others. Region exclusive games. This has been a hell of a Pokemon episode. We have had some Pokemon Pinball to start off with. We have had some Pokemon trading card game, just the last run. And we're about to throw it over to something that hits the other theme of Going Places. But just before we do that, I'd like to mention that after this run, we are going to be throwing it over to Presentia, who runs Grudge Match, one of the other hotfixes. It's going to be a case of rivals going against each other with a little bit of gameplay and, well, a little bit of strange gameplay. There's always something a little bit interesting going on there. So Smite and Voice of Dog are going to be going with Zadette. I'm sure it's a very interesting game. And then Presentia will be going against Flannel Cat for Yokai Yashiki. And then after that, there's going to be a Castlevania episode of the Parallel Universe, where they have a look at different sort of fan games, modifications of pre-existing games. So yes, but Pokemon is what we've got going on here, and we are going all the way to Japan to have a look at some, well, we're gonna take our camera with us. We're gonna get some snaps and see what's happening. Quo, how's it going?
I am pretty good. How are you?
I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight. It's been good fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing where Pokemon Snap takes us.
Yeah, from what I've seen from the last few runs, it's been fun. But yeah, we're in Snap now, so I'm good to get started if everyone else is.
Yeah, we are. We're ready to go.
Excellent. I'll just restart real quick. Do you guys normally do like a file name thing, or should I just put anything?
Just, I don't know. Go with where your heart tells you.
What does my heart tell me? Now I'm like under stress. All right, we'll go GP for Going Places. How about that?
Oh, nice.
Okay,
I'll take that, because we did have GDQ Hot earlier for the Pokemon trading card.
There you go. That works as well.
Something a little bit different.
Okay. If we're ready on time, then 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
All right, so give me 3 seconds to mash, and then we can go with what this game's all about. Cool. So this is Pokemon Snap. It was originally released for the N64. I'm playing on the Switch version for the mostly sole reason that my N64 is sort of on the fritz right now. Oops. But
no.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's an old console.
Yeah.
Trying to get it sorted out, but we're playing on the Switch version for now, which is actually a bit slower, but that's, again, it's a shitcase. It's not the end of the world. So if you've seen other Pokemon Snap runs, you might notice there's a lot of lag reduction. The Switch version doesn't lag, so we don't need to do any of that. So we'll actually be, seeing what we're doing. Ooh, that didn't look too good. Should be fine. So Pokemon Snap, how do you run it? It is on rails, if you haven't seen. Literal rail in this case, but later levels are also on rails. But it has to do with a lot of the point progression that we need to pass. So the first point progression is to get the apples, which is an item that we're going to get at 2,400 points. No, 24,000 points. And so that's our first benchmark. So we go all the way up to 24,000 points, get the apples, continue with the game. And then there are 2 other benchmarks that we want to get later, which we'll get to later. So as far as I mentioned, or no, I read that a few people were wondering about version differences with this. Whoops. There aren't that many between the 3 versions of the game, so North American, PAL, and Japanese. A lot of the voice acting in this version is different though, so if you remember the English version, probably if you're watching this clearly, this will probably be a bit different from that. And yeah, we're right about to exit beach. So the main speed strat is we're getting as many points as possible and then exiting the level. So that's why we exited.
Oh, nice. Wow, I wish my film pictures developed that quickly. They've got something special in the Pokemon universe.
You know. I guess they don't show the like whole going back to the lab thing, but
maybe there's a Pokemon that can help you out with it. Who knows?
Honestly, I'm not sure if there is yet, but that would be an idea. All right, so the only scary part was that Butterfree. Everything else looks pretty good. But we have like 21,000 points, which we do, 21,500. We're set on going to the next level. One small quirk with this game is you can't unlock an item and a level at the same time. So we just unlocked a level, so we can't unlock an item yet. You actually need to at least go in the Pokemon like submission phase and then leave. So we didn't have 24,000 points, but now we're going to with this picture, if I took it right.
Okay.
The French version. I do not have the French version, unfortunately. Alright, so apples are important because we need them at the end of this course to unlock the next level. They also let us interact with some Pokemon, so we'll see that soon. I saw someone ask how many photos are possible to take in this version. So there are 63 Pokemon, and since this is 100%, we're going to be taking all 63. There are some Pokemon we're going to have to go back for. So like Scyther and Snorlax, for example, were in Beach, but we couldn't get them yet because we don't have the items. But we'll be back to get them later. Alright, so there's a couple of like events now that we can do. So for example, we just blew up that Voltorb, Electrode rather, and that drops the Kakuna. And there's a few like interactions like that that we'll see throughout the games, or throughout the levels rather.
Nice.
There is no Ariados in this level, unfortunately. Alright, so one of the hardest parts of the game is coming up. It's not the Magikarp. So one difference between the Switch version and the N64 version is that the controller is a lot more sensitive, which normally isn't a problem, but we need to take a picture of this Diglett, and Diglett is very skinny. So if I miss it, I'm going to cry. Normally the second one that I mess up, but we'll be okay.
Don't cry.
Alright, we're good.
We don't want that.
And the third one we get as he's swinging his head, and we're good. So there are something that we call photo events. So we sort of saw it on Lapras, I didn't mention it, but we see it on Diglett here again. The second Diglett won't spawn unless you actually take a picture, so that his name needs to show up on the bottom for that to work. Which is why we're prone to missing on this and the Wii U version, where the controllers are much more sensitive. Alright, so to exit the level as fast as possible, we're going to hit that Electrode as these Magneton are fusing, and then take a picture. Basically, so we don't have to wait. That was pretty good.
Nice.
That whole ending sequence is a bit complicated, but again, there's like a couple of things to make the game faster. If you're actually getting into this game, this is one of the like easiest games to get into. It's very top heavy, so all the hard parts for a beginner are at the start of the game, and the rest you just sort of coast, and it's pretty good. I'd recommend checking it out if you're interested. So again, there's no point requirements here yet, but we are going to have one after Volcano, which is the next course, which is 72,500 points. So everything looked pretty okay from the looks of it. Zubat was not centered, unfortunate.
Oop. Yo, folks, it looks like we're just having a little bit of a stream issue. You know, it happens, online stuff. So I think we're just going to do a quick intermission and just see how we can resurrect things. Sorry about this. We'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, I think we've reloaded our cameras, we've got the film back, and we've got our stream back. We have got Quo back with Pokemon Snap. Just pretend that nothing ever happened. What happened? Nothing happened. Quo, just pretend that you paused for whatever random reason and show us the rest of this game. Just let us know when the timer starts again, and it's all
Had to hydrate.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, it happens. So what you guys missed, we were submitting pictures. You didn't miss much. I'm a bit short on points, so we're going to do a couple of backup strats, but that's okay. So we're going to start 3, 2, 1, go. And we're in Volcano. So I mentioned earlier, which you guys probably did not hear me during the water break, that we're probably going to need to do some backup strats because some pictures were not great, /centered. I didn't really talk about it, but there's a couple of different considerations whenever you have when you take pictures. So if you've played this game, you probably know them. If you haven't, it's probably a bit foreign. But the things that you're pretty much looking for are size, so how big the picture is, the Pokemon is rather. Their pose, so if they're eating an apple, it's usually better than if they're not doing anything. And then if they're centered, so being centered multiplies your points by 2. And if they're not centered, you don't get that bonus. So we did not get that on a couple of pictures, and we'll have to deal with it. Okay, we're actually going to feed you. And we'll just take the super safe route of getting the fighting Magmar over here. Yeah, Volcano's a pretty short level. There's only 6 Pokemon that we take. And they all give a solid amount of points. Oh no. Alright. So again, our goal after this is 72,500 points. So we were at 50,000 before or coming into this course. So if everything goes right, we'll be good to go. If not, a few more backups, but it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, the game's testing me. So, okay, these things happen. So for some reason, and we're still not sure why, it's probably just like an emulation thing, but the detection for like when something is centered or not is a bit more strict on the Switch. So a lot of these are probably centered on the N64 version, but you know.
Interesting. Because like you wouldn't expect that, because it seems like a fairly faithful port. Like, do you think that they change things?
No, it's that's a good question. I'll get into the weeds of it a bit later.
Okay.
But so this game on N64 at least is like notoriously bad to emulate. So they had to change a bunch of stuff when they brought it over to the Wii version.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure if they just took that version again and continue with it, or if like what happened. But yeah, I'm not sure if the Wii U and the Switch as well are like the same as the Wii version or different. But yeah, basically the game just emulates really weird.
So there's a bit of an iceberg to it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've ever tried to run this on like Project 64 or something, it doesn't work. Luckily though, this is 100%, which means we're getting all the Pokemon. So from this point on, points don't really matter. So even though we're sort of low on points, we can sort of just brush it off and continue with the run. There's a bit of a setup here to get Slowpoke into position. Just trust me, he's moving right now. And then we're going to throw one to get another Slowpoke. Just happens to be the best way. Also, because the N64 version lags, you'll see a lot of the strats that I do sort of take lag reduction into account. Just, I don't know, an artifact of running on N64 as well. So one of the reasons this game is a bit rough to run sometimes, both any percent and 100%, is you get to River, we're about 10 minutes in, the timer's a bit off because of the pause, but we're about 8 to 10 minutes in, and you get to the end of River, and there is a Pokemon called Cloyster at the end of it, and Cloyster is not a Pokemon that spawns consistently, so he only shows up about half the time. I think it's 57% to be precise. So if you get it, it's great. If not, you lose 30 seconds, and you know, at higher levels, 30 seconds in a 20-minute game is a bit too much. But so hopefully we'll get him. And there he is. Very nice. The Japanese version is faster. They play the exact same, except the text on the Japanese version ends up just being faster in some places. About 20 seconds. Side of violence. I do what I do to get the points.
It's nothing personal.
Nothing personal. Yeah, this menu's a bit weird for me. Normally I also have Bulbasaur, but I had to take that last time.
Tell you what, the music in this, I'm enjoying the music in this. I say this as somebody who's, for the previous 2 runs that we've seen, just because of the setup, I didn't get to hear it, but I'm hearing a bit of this and I'm jamming out.
It has a really good soundtrack. For people who've played the game, you probably may know this, may not, but the tunnel theme, which we'll go back to in a sec, Whenever you activate something specific, which we'll see later, there's actually like an extra drum and bass track that gets added to it, which is really cool.
Ooh.
I'll try to point it out when we get there.
That's cool.
All right, so this Grimer, you need to take a picture of him for this one to show up. And this is how you get Muck. So if you ever lost finding Muck when you were younger, that's probably why. So I have been taking centered pictures. I probably shouldn't. One thing with 100% is that not taking centered pictures is actually like 4 frames faster per picture. And we'll see that in the next course where points really don't matter. So I probably should be taking worse pictures to, save that bit of time. All right, now if I can game, which looks a bit sketchy. If I can game and I get lucky, that's going to hit you. And you're going to fall in the pit, which he did not. That's really unfortunate. So I got the setup. What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to knock him out from like across the map, and he's supposed to fall into the pit and evolve, and you get out of the level like 10 seconds sooner. But didn't happen. And we need this guy to evolve to get the last Pokemon. So I also sort of brushed over this earlier and briefly explained it, but not really. But the reasons... Oh, Grimer didn't count. That's really awkward. So the reasons that we get the Pokemon that we do is because to unlock levels, specifically the last level is the one we're looking for, you need 40 different types of Pokemon. And the route that I'm doing is just the best. It pretty much always has been since like the dawn of time. But we missed Grimer, which normally counts, but I guess this time didn't. We're gonna have 39, which is sort of awkward. Luckily, he's right at the start. Okay, let's take a few to make sure that we're close enough. And they all worked. Excellent.
Nice.
Okay, now with 40 Pokemon, 40 unique Pokemon rather, we unlock Valley, which is the last course of the game. And so everything up until now has been pretty much the same as any percent, with like minor exceptions. Valley is really where it starts to deviate. We only go to Valley once, for example, whereas the other courses we're all going to visit back again. Sorry, and there are 12 Pokemon to get here. So we're going to get all 12, obviously. Now, 2 of them are random spawns in the water, so that's going to be Goldeen and Dratini. And this is also a I will cry if I miss it moment because they are a bit fickle. I don't think I reacted fast enough. Alright, and from here on out, I really don't care about points, so pictures are going to look bad, but that's intentional. Oh, and we got both of them. Excellent. So no need to worry for the rest of it. Alright, so the way I keep track of it is like count how many pictures I've taken. I think I doubled up once, so I should have 7 at this point. Which means we're on track.
Nice. This game, like, it's such an interesting concept. Do you know anything about like how it came to be? Like why Nintendo was just like, yeah. We want to do this?
So this actually wasn't Nintendo. It was like a, not really third party, but I guess I don't know how to say it. I'll say third party. I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but for the sake of the story. And they wanted to make like a Safari-based game, and Nintendo was like, it's cool, but like, what's really the point of the game? Like, there's not much to it other than taking pictures. And then they had Pokemon, and kids love Pokemon, so that's sort of how it came to be. So it was really a Safari game before becoming Pokemon.
There we go.
Pretty neat. They did a pretty good job, I think. I mean, I'm biased. I've played this game way too much.
I mean, I can see the appeal. I think, it's from a time where games didn't look, don't look quite how they look now, but I don't know, they're charming.
Yeah. Definitely the polygon look. Alright, now if I'm really good at this game, which So far, I've been alright at this game, but if I'm really good, there's a Mankey on the other side of this mountain, and if I throw out just the right time, I should be able to hit him, which I missed. Okay, so pretend that actually hit, and it was really cool.
Whoa!
And then we got into this. Yeah, and then we got into this cutscene.
Wow, that you're so good at this game, honestly.
Thank you, thank you. I'm like 80% on that trick. Just in another world, that would have worked. Oops. All right, so critically exiting that way through River unlocks sort of that like pressure up cutscene. And that makes us able to submit signs, which is like the next part of the game. So at the start of the level, we took a picture of the Dugtrio Mountain, which is the first sign, and there's a sign in each level. So we're gonna have to go back and get all the signs and also get the rest of the Pokemon because this is still 100%. Already got that one. All right, so if we have 52 at the end, that means I didn't miss anything. And until that time, I will stress. We are good.
Nice.
Okay, so we get the dash engine here. The dash engine just lets us move faster, so all of the remaining courses are, they're just going to be faster, you know? So we have Kingler sign, and then each course from here on out, we're going to have to pick up a couple of Pokemon. So Snorlax right here, waking up from his nap. There's a Scyther here, which has a bit of a setup that is absolutely inconsistent. But if you do that, normally he pops up. Okay, so now we have to wait. He's sort of in the grass and it's a really annoying hitbox to hit. There you go. You bonk them yet, so you don't run into him. And the last one is Chansey, who's right there. All right, so the last item we need is at 130,000 points, which we just broke, and that is the Poke Flute, which is right on time because we need it for this next level coming up. So this is probably the most involved level when it comes to like actually getting the sign. First of all, you need to pass these guys and not get hit like that. Ooh, sometimes it just happens. So in any percent, you just need to wake up the Zapdos egg. In 100%, you actually need to take Zapdos, but because we are trying to go fast, you sort of don't ever let go of the brakes, and you take Zapdos like as the doors are closing. But ooh, there we go. It worked.
Oh, wow.
And then I missed the sign, which is a lot bigger, but that's okay. So Zapdos, if you don't get it centered, it's not going to count, which really sucks. So the first one did not count, but that's all right. Might have been cutting in a bit too close, but. All right, the start of Volcano is pretty cool. So you do need to get past the Rapidash. You also need to land a Pester Ball in there. And, okay. A cool little movement part. I almost got, messed up there because I did take a picture of Rapidash for the first one. But I know enough Japanese to know that that wasn't science, and it was in fact Rapidash. Mostly because Rapidash's name was like twice the length, but that's fine.
Nice.
So if you guys remember Cloyster like a couple levels ago, there's Cloyster 2 right here, which is Growlithe and Arcanine. So Arcanine has a 25% chance of spawning in 3 separate attempts. Oh my goodness. Nope. Okay, 3 Growlithes. That's okay. So we get to see this segment again. If I hit the sign. No!
Oh,
I do need the sign though. It's hard to aim when the like course is moving with you.
Yeah, I can imagine. So
And
the
you're trying to
controls
go
that the controls that you do have are, you know, changing where your viewing angle is, and then the brakes.
You don't have brakes, so you can either go fast or go normal speed. You can't actually stop. You only stop if you hit a Pokemon. I guess that's the only way of stopping.
Okay.
But yeah, you can turn in like, so I can turn in like 90-degree directions, or I can just move with the cursor. So those are the two ways of turning the camera.
Okay.
All right, try number 2 with this. So again, it's about a 57% chance getting at least one Arcanine. There we go. All right, Growlithe, Arcanine, and Charizard. Good. So one of the reasons the estimate is as high as it is because if you mess up Cloyster or Arcanine, which is out of your control, it takes a while. So the record for this game, is it 23 or 24 minutes? It's around 23 or 24 minutes. But again, if you mess up, or if you miss those Pokemon rather, it adds up a lot. Okay, back to the easy courses. This one we only need Vileplume, which is right in front of the sign, so that makes it convenient. Vileplume wakes up with the flute, which is one of the reasons we need the flute. It also does a different dance for each flute, which my favorite is number 3. It does some little steps. He's going off. Alright, so one course left, and there are 2 Pokemon in that course, so I should have 60 right now, which I do. Didn't forget anyone. Alright, so the last 2 are Jinx and Articuno, which are at the end of Cave. And then we'll be 1 course away from finishing.
Nice.
I don't think I mentioned it, but these Bulbasaurs are actually Ditto. So that's a fun little...
Oh.
That's why their eyes are like dots instead of actual eyes. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting that 100%, you know, it's getting all the stuff, but like, I imagine, is there a whole lot that we're missing out on, like interactions wise?
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of interactions that we don't get. So one of the, or my favorite actually, a lot of people's favorites, is there's Articuno in this course. You can actually get Pikachu riding on Articuno, which is just like a wild interaction. There's one of like 3 Jigglypuffs singing, which is, you know, another fan favorite. Trying to think of other like big ones. Those are the 2 that immediately come to mind, at least. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Is there like a category for that sort of thing? I know it seems like incredibly like arbitrary, but like
so not really. The closest thing is 250k, which is like more of a like high score focused category, which you beat the game with 250,000 points. So for comparison, in this one we're probably going to finish with like 150 or 160. So there's that, and then there's also a whole like other aspect of this game, which is just the high score parts where you get as many points as you can, which I think the person who holds the record, which is a Japanese player, has 319,000, which is a lot.
Wow, yeah.
So more than twice what we're getting basically right now for 100%. But this is Mew, by the way, so he's a cute little guy. And that's pretty much 100%. Time's going to end when we see the red text when it saves, right about now.
GG.
So there you go. Great game. If you have not played it, I recommend it. Also new Pokémon Snap for the Switch, also recommend it. And the way you know that you did get 100% is you get these special credits, where it sort of scrolls from side to side instead of down to up. You also get more pictures in the credit sequence and a different song, so it's pretty cool. Lapras in the Ocean, that's another great one.
Nice. Well, hey, awesome job. Thank you so much for soldering on through the difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, heck is what it is, but didn't stop the run at least.
Cameras get jammed. It is what it is.
Yeah, there you go. You know,
it is what
happens to the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, you've already mentioned, like, in terms of accessibility for this game, really ain't too bad with the being able to get it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Any other sort of resources that folks can learn from, or is it mainly just a case of, you know, let's have a look at the runs, let's see what they do?
Yeah, there's a set of guides by another member of the community, CC. Those are fantastic. If you want to start learning it, great. It's on speedrun.com, so easy to find. The Discord's also, you know, accessible. Just ask questions in there. Everyone's helpful. Great one to learn. Same thing for new Pokemon Snap. It's a bit longer. It's 3 hours, but also a great run. I'd recommend both of these games.
Nice. And then if folks, you know, enjoyed that and want to see a bit more of Quo, how would they find out more about you?
The best place is probably Twitch. So my Twitch is, I think, was linked earlier. You can follow that. But if I'm going to shill for myself, what I want you guys to do instead of following me is you go on Twitter. There's an account called Pokemon Snap Bot. It posts a picture from new Pokemon Snap every 12 hours. Fantastic account. Almost at 100 followers. So maybe, you know, you guys can get it there. If you guys like great content.
I'm gonna do a little bit of searching of that now.
That's the one it is. Pokemon Snap Bot. I'd recommend it. Great account.
Nice. Awesome. Well, folks, that is it. That is it. Well, that is it. That makes it sound like it's completely over. No, Hotfix. Well, Going Places will be back in 2 weeks, but for this Pokemon themed episode, we are wrapping up. If you missed any of it, of course, you can catch it back on the YouTube channel for Games Done Quick. In a couple of days, the VOD will be up, but that is not the end of Hotfix for tonight. No. We are going to be having Grudge Match happening next with a very strange game called Zadette, which apparently has made it into a GDQ. So if you want a little taste of what is going to be happening in January in Pittsburgh, then hey, stick around, and then we will have Parallel Universe afterwards with some good fun in Castlevania, I believe it was. But once again, a very big thank you to all the Pokemon runners that we've had on today, and we will see you in a couple of weeks' time. See ya.
Bye.